takes everything you've got from all your worries, sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? All those nights when you've got no lights, the check is in the mail, and your little angel hung the cat up by its tail, and your third fiance didn't show. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always
what up, Jess? Gotcha.
You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same.
Oh wow, it's this guy again? No way. Where is this guy right now? Cupcake. Is this in Seattle? I feel like this is Seattle. What's going on, Mama Bear?
And your husband wants to be
That can't be the cops talking.
Seattle.
Oh shit! No.
Shit.
And they're always glad you came. You wanna go where people know.
Right, it's coming in. What up, CM? How you doing?
You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Oh boy. All right, what do we got here? What up, Shauna? So damn good to see you back live. What up, Richard? Welcome back, my dude. What up, Jasmine? So we do have Seattle, Washington going off. I do believe this is in response to a police shooting. But I believe it was Seattle. No, it was Portland. It was Portland. I'm actually not sure what the hell they're doing out here. What's going on, Daisy? What up, Giggling Spider Monkey, CM?
I don't know if you guys
anyone
ever
heard the news on the rush
February
over that Bo said this morning? Wait, the rush other than that, other than what Bo said this morning? What you talking about, CM?
Come on.
What up, Soul? Cuddle back.
You can't enjoy life.
This guy has had some crazy shit happen outside of his apartment. Yeah, this is Seattle. Oh, what? Oh, you thought the shooting was Seattle? Officer involved shooting in Seattle. Yes, it was. Never mind, it was Seattle. Suspect killed in officer involved shooting. Yeah, he did shoot at cops first. My man, my Indian brethren, Rohit in the freaking chat with the 20 rupees. Can we get some fire in the chat for my man Rohit? How you doing tonight, buddy?
Whoa.
Thanks for stopping in, my dude.
Fucking the 10-yard dash. Boom.
Oh my god, dude.
Whoa, guys. Why are you guys...
Rush Limbaugh, he isn't doing well. Not on the radio for 2 weeks. Oh, shit. I did not hear that at all. We have an arrest, folks. Doing good, man. Glad to hear my man Rohit. It's been a while, buddy.
Whip, whip. That's the sound of the police.
Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beat.
So wild out here.
And perp shot 2. Yeah, I believe he was shooting at the police first. Like, he fired at them first, is from what I've been hearing. The perp shot 2 women. Oh, wow. See, like, what are people even mad about?
It's a lot of yelling.
One died even. Wow.
Sweetie, what's going on over on that side?
Dude, this guy has had so much crazy shit happen out front of his fucking apartment, man.
Oh, okay, here we go.
I kind of actually feel bad for this guy.
In the room. Is this Capitol Hill or not?
Oh my God. On a non-violent note, my sister-in-law,
The loudest
they are
man in the
expecting
room.
3 inches of snow and a high of
Calling
20 in
everybody
Houston,
an
Texas in the next, what? 20 inches of snow in Texas? Hopefully that shit melts on you guys pretty quickly. That's fucking craziness, man. We got like maybe 5 or 6 inches around here.
I love this.
What up, Denise Jackson? How you doing?
Not one of you is black. Not one of you is black.
What does that have to do with anything?
Awesome, Pearl.
3 inches of
Sam
snow.
Guinness is
Oh, a
in the
high of
house.
20 degrees. I was gonna say, dude, 20 fucking inches of snow in fucking Texas, bro. 3 inches of snow. Who got
Thought people
shot?
were real upset,
There was a
like,
police
using their full
officer
voice.
involved shooting. Seattle police officer involved shooting. Let's see if we can get a quick little video about it.
He is wears.
We begin this hour with breaking news. We've just learned there's been a shooting near the Northwest African American Museum in Seattle. There are reports that multiple people have been shot. Police say an officer was involved. The museum's located at 23rd Massachusetts Street near Judkins Park. All lanes in the area have been closed. We have a crew headed there now. We'll bring you the latest information as soon as we can.
Wow. So yeah, that was that. And this is what we have as a result. And here we do have an update audio.
I'm here to give you an update on the events of this evening. At about 9:15 this evening, officers received reports of shots fired in this area and responded to investigate.
Seattle is toast. I won't go there anymore. I wouldn't, yeah.
Shots going off.
Not at
They
all,
pulled up in
Dragon.
front of the
Saw a video on
Northwest
your
African
tweet.
American Museum, at which time a suspect came around the corner from the parking lot.
Pearl, the
and
lady
began
that was
firing
saying
at
not
them.
one of you
A
is
number
black
of
living in this
officers
building.
returned fire, striking the suspect. Once the suspect was down and was no longer a threat, officers went into the parking lot to see if there were any victims and located 2 victims who were also down with multiple gunshot wounds.
Wow.
At this point, we have 2 victims who have been
PD released
transported
body
to the
cam
hospital
footage.
with
Ooh, let's see if we can find
life-threatening
that.
injuries. We have a suspect who is now deceased from the gunshot wounds. This will be an open, transparent investigation. Right now on the scene, we have our crime scene investigators, our homicide unit, the Office of the Inspector General, the Office of Professional Accountability, and other investigators to try to figure out exactly what happened here. At this point, preliminarily, we believe that there was some sort of relationship between the suspect and the victims, and we believe that the suspect may have lived in this area.
Do you have an estimate of time between the time the call came in to the time you guys responded?
I know that it was relatively quickly and that they basically were engaged.
Let's see if we can
by the
find it. Check my
suspect
tweets.
very
Gotcha.
shortly after they arrived.
Do you know how many officers fired?
I don't. That'll be part of the investigation. It will be a number of officers. I just don't want to lock us into a number this early in the investigation.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
911, what is your emergency?
We just got shot. I'm gonna.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
nothing
right.
to indicate that anyone was camping.
All right, we do have it right here.
Die. We're gonna die.
How many people have been shot? 911, what is your emergency?
My friend just got shot. Me and my friend just got shot. I don't know where we are. We just got shot like 3 times.
Oh, wait, here's the full video.
Even
Do
hear my
you know,
outside in the park, so Jimi Hendrix Park. He has a red hat on, black pants.
Hey, what up,
black
D-Flame? How you
jacket.
doing? What up, Cereal Face? All right, so let's see what we got here. What up, BB Stacker? Welcome back. What up, Gritty Kitty? Cheers to all you guys.
Just fire the shot.
So yeah, he did shoot first, man.
Same too.
I don't know what they expected. While coordinating officers heard multiple shots, 911 dispatch received an additional call from a shooting victim.
I don't know where we are. We just got shot like 3 times.
All very bold.
I can't even get my
You know, like
a
across the
single
street or where you're
police
at?
officer running through the
No,
scene.
I don't know where I am. My friend is dying. She got shot in the face. Please come. Please
Oh my
come.
I'll get the
God.
medics on the line. One moment.
She's dying. She's dying.
I understand. I heard you. I heard you.
Please come. She's dying.
Seattle Fire and Medic 1.
Bro, my friend is dying. My friend, we just got shot like 3 times. Please send paramedics right now.
You just got shot 3 times?
3 times. My
Where are
friend
you
is
at?
dying.
No, not at all,
This is
D-Flame.
radio. I got a rapid SOS location of 2300 South
I don't have the
Massachusetts.
location. Tell me this. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
what I'm
where
looking
I'm
at. 2300 South Massachusetts.
Come here, please.
Okay, ma'am. I need you to answer my questions.
They're
What's
shooting,
going on
bro.
there?
They're shooting. Come now, please. We just got shot. I'm gonna die.
Man, that's
We're gonna
fucking nuts,
die.
bro.
How many people have been shot?
2, please.
Oh, they're
come
saying
now.
gay
My
people
friend is
used to live
dying.
here, black people
And they're
used
literally
to live
protesting.
here.
This happened about
They're
18 hours
they're
ago.
trying to say this neighborhood is
On
so
the 9th.
gentrified.
So,
now.
yeah, about 18 hours
Meanwhile,
ago.
they're fucking, disrupting our fucking faggot ass.
Here, he's coming down. Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Put your hands up and drop the gun, Seattle Police! Drop the gun now! Drop the gun!
All right. Well. Anyway, that is what they are protesting in Seattle.
Oh, jeez. I'm bored of this show, you guys. Pearl, do you want to take over the filming? No, not at all. Fuck you guys.
What
All
up,
right.
Snake Boy? Oh my God, I'm glad to see you.
If you guys do something,
oh, how's it
I'm gonna
going?
hit you
I've
with a
never
stick, and if you
separated.
do
I'm
something
doing
cool, it'll
pretty
be like
good.
Revolution or something.
How are you doing, Snake Boy? And welcome back. My teeth are feeling a lot better. I gotta actually I think it froze there. I actually got to go back and get my bridge put in soon here. But taking my time with that, trying to let it heal up a little bit more anyway. Dude, he had a gun, lady. You guys killed that black man.
And I killed people last night.
All right, Ethan's not live anymore. But I think this is playing from the beginning, so let's see what we got here.
Open that.
And I will keep an eye on his Facebook page because he periodically jumps back
Mind if I
on.
go over there?
I'm actually surprised there's not more people out in Seattle right now. What's up, N3? How you doing, buddy? What up, DK? Did you get your Doge purchased? I purchased $50 of Doge. I don't need an excuse to create chaos. For real. I just think it's funny that they're upset about a guy that got killed while shooting at police and he shot 2 other people. Oh yeah, it's definitely cold out. It doesn't appear to slow them down very much. What up, Will Zo? How you doing, buddy? Welcome back. Ian Michaels, I didn't see you there. How you doing, my dude? We on Doge. I have
can't
about
tell
50 in
what's
it,
going
too.
on.
Hell yeah. It's so ghetto chili, just like your teeth. Thank you, Per. I appreciate that. Very ghetto and chili. What's ghetto chili mean? I don't. Is that like a dish or something? It's like 34
What the
degrees
hell
there
is
tonight. Yeah,
actually
it's
going on
it's
right
19
now?
where I'm at. So not
That can't be the cops talking.
crazy crazy temperatures, but cold as fuck. A good thing Mommy bought them thermal underwear for Christmas. Yeah. Yeah, and they're solar blankets, right? 50 is about how much Doge I bought as well. There you go. Yeah, 50 is a good number. Either 50 or 100, right? How's it going, DK? This is Respawn. Been a little while, friend. Hey, Respawn. Welcome back, my dude. I am doing fantastic.
Shit.
How you been?
Yo, what was that?
Glad to have you in here, man. Glad to see you're still
by.
alive out here in this crazy world. KTB Productions, 12 here tonight. Damn. I think the coldest we've seen it around here was about 6 degrees. I'm on a Doge, maybe too far. We'll see. Oh, you are? How much you got in back cross? 23 degrees here. I wish I could go back to 1995. That would be good. Doing good. Don't watch too many YouTube streams. I gotta get into it. Absolutely you do. Want a heated bodysuit to go outside in right now. I bet you some of them actually have that.
I don't know if you guys ever heard February is...
I don't know if they, I don't know why they picked this
how much you want
intersection too. This is like the 5th time they've been out in this intersection. We have snow in our forecast where I'm at, Southwest Washington State, man.
You can't enjoy life. I don't know.
Oh, it's gotta be a lot colder. I sure hope not, man. I can't take more cold, bro. My hands are locking up on me. Hey, Ian Michaels coming in with that $10 donation. Saying beer costs money. Beer grows on trees where I'm at. Just flows. Just flows like honey. No. Thank you so much, my man, for that $10 donation.
Beer costs money.
The beers do cost, they do cost money, though. That is very true. Only because Bitcoin saved my ass, it's not my money, really. Oh, I feel you.
Just fucking the 10-yard dash.
$0.5, $600 stimulus worth. Oh, dude, that isn't really that bad. You'll be all right. But shout out to my man Ian Michaels, bro. Once again, cheers to you, my dude.
Whoa, guys. Why is it no chill right now?
Ben Shapiro's mama? Probably a fine lady. This is the meat and potatoes of what has been happening in America. Meanwhile, they are trying to impeach an ex-president for what those people did. Right, yeah.
That's the sound of the
god-awful insurrectionists. And then the impeachment's been a fucking sham, literally. Giving me Keemstar vibes. Oh, man, awesome. Don't know much about Keemstar, but I know he's been around a while. Monday in Michigan, high of 13, low of 9. Oh, yeah, fuck that. -3. I am totally good on that. Y'all can keep that shit wherever it's coming from. All of the Seattle is liberal for the most part, and why Inslee is letting King and Pierce County in the stage 2. Y'all should move. Our low temp all week is 40 next Tuesday. Wow. Yeah, I know the edited videos in the fucking sham impeachment trial would literally be not admissible in court. That's how fucking bad they are. They are out tonight because there was an officer-involved shooting with a man that literally shot at police officers. And the police returned fire and killed the suspect.
In the room.
He actually killed, or the suspect actually shot a young lady in the face, hit somebody 3 times.
Is this Capitol Hill or not?
So yeah, it's been an interesting one. And then this was New York earlier in the day today. Exactly, CM. Dude, it's all political theater in my opinion. You would think they would there would be a rule about outright lying on the Senate floor. Well, like some of it wasn't even really an outright lie. It was just misleading. Like they cut out the part where Donald Trump said peacefully march to the Capitol and support politicians. They cut that whole part out, so it just makes it sound like we're going to march to the Capitol. Do you think this is impeachment is constitutional? No, not at all. Not by any stretch of the word. What do you think about it, per mama? I heard Trump's lawyers are in it to be able to present evidence into the record. Same with Sidney Powell's suits, evidence being brought out. I hope you are right. Oh, she needs a hug. She needs a little more than a hug, Daisy, if you know what I'm saying. What up, my Michigan brother? What up, American Knights? Welcome back, my buddy. Is that Blumpkin? You see the meltdown on the floor at the end of it today? I did not, Christy. That would be great to see. Let's see. Meltdown on Senate floor. See if we can find that. Oh, House floor, I mean, whoops. Wow, there's a lot of shit with the meltdown. Oh, I wish I could find that. Who was it that you were talking about, chopping onions in the back room? Yes, but I can't say that, so a hug will do. No, I totally agree, KTB Productions. This is all political theater, as far as I'm concerned.
File a simple return for free. Now with advice.
I'm looking for it. Thank you, Christy.
And what is the...
Bet this dude adds his Cash App at the end. And my Cash App is Daisy Dukes at 514. $. And I bet you these people are out here protesting the shit that happened in fucking the shit that happened in fucking Seattle.
In jail or death. And you especially love to target black men, black women, black children, and black trans women. A lot of the times when they choose these attacks, and they know that when they are, the person may not be in the right state of mind, but they don't care because all they came to do was collect a column. It's not about coming to help, but it's about coming to get a column.
Man, he's so angry.
Okay? Their job is to serve and protect, but all they do is hurt and neglect. So we the people are here today to let you know that we will no longer allow you to neglect.
You should stop smoking in your house. The value of it is probably plummeting. I rent my house, so I don't really care. Now the impeachment, most news outlets like CNN would already be toast. LOL, Trump's all they have, in my opinion. No, it's literally, I don't even know if that's opinion. That's, in my opinion, fact. Yeah, no, it's bad. They still can't get off the Trump train, man. That's all they've been talking about lately. Need a Vegemite sandwich and a Foster's, that'll calm them down. I don't know. Maybe a Snickers. Maybe a Snickers will help them out.
Of a 50-year-old.
Just looking for the feeds. So I feel like Seattle's still doing something.
Okay, you see? This is one of the reasons that we scream to defund and abolish NYPD is because it's things like this. This officer right here with the bald head has 7 allegations. 7 allegations, which means he probably hurt about 7 different people. And the rest of them are here with the bald head.
No Seattle streams that I can see. Do you think they will go for criminal charges after they impeach him? They're talking about going after him at a state level, but not like a federal level. I don't think the feds can touch him, but maybe the states can. Well, Biden is so boring. Yes, he is. He's like a pinwheel. He just spins and spins. Saw a meme Trump telling Obama that when he's through with him, Kenya, people won't remember he was even here. Biden is a boring president. Like, imagine not inciting violence on your first day in office. What? right, let me check the feeds again. I still feel like we're gonna find a Seattle stream here. I think I might have found it.
I don't know what the fuck is that.
She was live 8 minutes ago. A lot of good is coming out of the impeachment. I think that they're going to accidentally reveal too much. Biden seems like he is out of breath every time he talks. And he doesn't even talk that much, man. Biden don't seem like he's all there, period. Praying that SCOTUS will get real evidence this time and do their job. And then, hey, once this impeachment ends, right, we're going to start up another one because we're going to be impeaching Joe Biden. Joe Biden's getting the boot. I hope they impeach him. Exactly when does he seem like he was dying? Dude, he always seems like he's dying.
Let's go. We leave it. Let's go.
Thanks to Time Magazine. Oh, really?
Make some noise.
All right, while we watch this, I'm going to put that here. And we are going to jump into our first bid.
Talking about impeaching Donald Trump the day after the 2016 election. And when I say literally, I literally mean literally.
It happened well before that.
Over 4 years later, and they're still talking about it even 3 weeks after Donald Trump has left the White
link
House.
I gave you was
this
crappy.
Is like
Okay, thank you,
filing
Christy.
An eviction notice long after the
Christy, you have to drop it in stream links, otherwise I won't be able to see
Babylon
it.
Bee summed it up best by saying the Capitol building to be decorated as a giant circus tent for the duration of the impeachment hearings.
Unless you
In
did
fact,
already.
Impeaching Donald Trump after he's already left the White House makes about as much sense as the Hollywood
Oh,
Screen
there we
Actors
go.
Guild
Time Magazine.
banning him from the union after he's already left, which is exactly what they did. He
All right, I
recently
got that
made
one.
some headlines for quitting the union since obviously
when
he
you
wants
don't know
nothing to
how
do
the
with
government
Hollywood
works, only
anymore.
the House can
He's
impeach
been a
the
member
president.
of SAG for decades because of all those
Only the
good
House can
parts that
impeach
he
the
had in
president,
the
and Speaker
1980s
Nancy
and
can
the
bring that
90s, and
onto
so
the House floor,
he just
babe.
decided
It's
why
normalized
bother
actually
anymore, and,
taking a
save
government
himself
class.
$200 a year as well.
Really? I didn't know
And so
they could do
Screen
that.
Actors Guild got upset, and then they voted to
put a link in
ban him
Discord.
from
Did you put it in
ever
stream links,
joining
my dude,
again.
or did you
So
put it
those
in
are the
general?
headlines now. Screen Actors Guild bans Trump from rejoining union, as if he would ever want to do that. But that's how the media works, as you know, everything is upside down and backwards. He tells them he doesn't want to have anything to do with them. The media twists it around to make it seem as if they're the ones who kicked him out. In other news, Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, the NBA team, has decided that the national anthem is too divisive. So nobody's going to sing it for the NBA games in his stadium. Of course, it's been a tradition
What
in
up, Josh
professional sports
Patterson?
for decades to begin the games with the national anthem.
For
Maybe
sure,
even going
Christy.
back to the very beginning of the league.
I hear the
But of course,
investigations into
liberals
machines
don't
in Michigan, I believe, are still ongoing in the judge-approved discovery, so the code of voting machines can be analyzed.
like American
See, like they're
traditions,
keeping all
they
that shit
don't like
super
America.
quiet.
They
eh?
are obsessed with Russia, however, and if you thought that Russiagate was behind us now that Donald Trump is no longer the president, you would be wrong. A Senate or a House
Sydney and
committee
Lynn are still
102
making
is
progress
demanding
going to the
that
SCOTUS.
Parler turn over their financial and investor records.
So then what happens? That's my question. What happens if they get enough evidence? What happens then? KTB, the findings have been released.
Because they suspect
they have been.
Parler has ties to you-know-who.
Russia.
Adding to the suspicion of the Russiagate truthers is, and this is not a joke by the way, that CEO, or former CEO now, I'll get into that in a minute, John Mates' wife
Got you,
is
Christy.
Russian. I say former CEO because he was just fired from the very company that he created by the board of directors, which is now controlled by investor Rebecca Mercer. Parler is expecting to return online any time now. Dan Bongino, who's an investor in the company, said that they had hoped to return
where did you
online
put it?
on Monday, but so far that
Where did you put it
hasn't
at,
happened,
Christy,
but
on
they
Discord?
may return online at any moment, but it's
that is
highly
incitement in
unlikely that
Congress.
the app
They-
will be allowed to be done.
The trail and conviction is in the Senate, and it's supposed to have the head of the Supreme Court overseeing it. It doesn't. It is a sham. It doesn't. It is a sham. Where's the Durham report? Yeah, we haven't heard
Downloaded
shit about
for
that
new
in
users
months.
in any of the app stores.
I
If they
think
do
that was
come-
the last thing Q even talked about too, right? It was like the Durham report. It was like his last post or something like that. Stream links by Respawn YouTube videos.
Back
Okay, for
online,
sure.
it's going to be interesting to see what new moderation policies and rules they have. And if the former CEO, John Mates, would have read this book,
I see it, okay.
Company of One by Paul Jarvis, which I saw recommended by Gab's CEO, Andrew Torba, I think a few years ago.
Mr. President, the managers are prepared
been
to...
fired from his own company. One point that I found particularly interesting when I first read the book, which I highlighted because I'm a nerd like that, was on page 28 where he says, quote, "The Kauffman Foundation study also illustrated that almost 86% of companies that succeed
I might actually have the video
did
here.
not take VC or venture capital money. Why?
I have a better
Because
copy of it, I
company's
think.
interests may not always align with the interests of
Yeah,
its
I got you,
backers.
Rumpy.
Worse, investor interests may not always align with what's best for a business's end customers. Capital infusion can leave a business with less control, resilience, speed, and simplicity, the main traits required for companies of one." I guess that's a fancy way of saying that when you accept investor money or sign contracts, that there are always strings attached, which is why I'm still just a guy in my kitchen on a laptop. I don't say that to disrespect John Mates, just to be clear. I respect that he built Parler.
Oh, you got it? Okay, thanks,
Social
Jeff.
Media Summit a couple years ago. We had a good
Evening,
talk.
DK. What up? She's saying, how long you been up? I didn't get a notification. I've been going for about a half hour now.
Current or potential future business owners, that you start taking on investors and signing contracts, things can happen. But before Parler was taken offline, did you notice that no Fox News host would plug Parler on air? They covered it as a story, but they would never say, hey, follow me or follow the show on Parler like they do Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Not Parler. Even Fox News plays by the Silicon Valley rules and didn't want their
It was
shows
the best
or
part
their
of the
hosts
day,
to
yeah.
promote
I think I have a
fringe
full version of it. I'm going to make sure to check that out here.
Is this the right thing to do? Email us, friendsoffoxnews.com. We're also on Facebook, and Brian's on Parler, we heard last week.
Yeah, I'm staying
What
on
up,
Parler.
Poopsicle?
All weekend, people were noticing that. I'm very excited about this new social media
YouTube be
aspect.
weird like that.
Something else to take, yeah, Parler, yes. Parler. What did I say it wrong? Okay. I'm getting yelled at in my ear. Coley Shimkus never yells at me that I know of, but here, go ahead, tell us what's happening in the news.
I'm so sorry you're getting yelled at. I'll cover for you right now, okay?
That's right. Fox News hosts would get in trouble if they plugged Parler on air. They weren't technically allowed to have a Parler account, but they certainly couldn't plug it on air like they tell you at the end of every show to follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
That's all for us tonight. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
It's actually really revealing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's a
Smash that
single
like
Fox News
button.
host
That's
who's
fucking
even
right.
joined Gab. I wouldn't be surprised if there was actually literally a memo that was sent around telling them that they specifically were not allowed to join that fringe platform.
I bet you
And
something like
the
that is what
ultimate
went on,
ironic twist,
too.
After banning hundreds of thousands of people over the last year, Twitter is having financial problems. So they're now considering offering some sort of a subscription model where I haven't looked into the details, but I just assume that for like $5 a month, they'll stop spamming your feed with a bunch of nonsense ads. If you're on Twitter, especially recently, because they're having financial problems.
So you have to pay to not have
They have been
have
accepting
ads shoved in your
spam
face.
for people, not just major brands, showing up in your feed through a promoted tweet, but tweets from anyone. They'll literally take anyone's money and just allow you to insert your tweets into people's feeds. Anyone except for me, that is, and others, I guess, who have been banned from the advertising program on Twitter, even though I've never placed any ads, but they did email me and tell me that I was not allowed to if I wanted to. And that's fine. I'll just plug my merch right here, right now, like my classic liberalism.
All right, yo, my man, Christy, is this the video you're talking about right here?
By the House impeachment managers. Statements relating to the content of conversations
like the last 11 minutes.
A phone call involving President Trump and Senator Tuberville were not made by me. They're not accurate, and they're contrary to fact. I move pursuant to Rule 16 that they be stricken from the record.
I have a Mark Dice hoodie. I have the Come On Man hoodie, which I fucking love.
Pursuant to Senate Resolution 47, Section 4, parties' presentations are not limited to the record provided for.
This guy sounds like he's half in the bag.
Resolution.
Really, KTB?
Senator,
I appeal the ruling of the chair.
I couldn't hear what he said.
Mr. President, Mr. President,
Mr. President, right here.
Oh my God.
We might as well hear clearly what the ruling of the chair was. So if you would repeat that.
Of course, I will, and pursuant to Senate Resolution 47, Section 4, the party's presentations are not limited.
Oh my God.
Pursuant to Senate Resolution 47, Section 4, parties' presentations are not limited to the record provided for in Section 1 of that resolution. The senator from Utah has appealed that ruling. Is that correct?
I have no idea what he's saying. Yeah, we definitely need term limits, bro.
Have been requested.
Bad lip reading.
And what is the question? Is it, shall the ruling of the chair be sustained? Is that the question?
Yes. Oh my God.
No.
And what, may I ask, is the ruling of the chair? My point was not about whether it's appropriate for them
South
to make
Park, I pooped my
characterizations.
pants.
My point was to strike them because they were false.
This is what this guy reminds me of right here.
Hey, Rod, great to see you. The folks are sure glad you're playing. It's really given them a lot of faith in me again. I'm sure that together we can make this Millennium Party the best New Year's bash ever. Poop pants. What?
What?
Poop pants.
I pooped my pants.
Poop my pants. You pooped your pants? Pooped my pants. Oh. Nurse, Mr. Stewart has apparently pooped his pants.
Again? Now, Mr. Stewart, what did we say about trying to hold in Mr. Dookie?
Anyway, very loudly, that woman in green tells him verbatim what to say every 3 words, word for word. She tells me exactly what to say. If you don't hear that, this is edited.
Applies to this situation.
Oh, here it is.
Correct.
The question is whether Senate Resolution 47, Section 4, is correct. The party's presentations are not limited to the record provided for in Section 1 of that resolution.
Mr. President, that is not my motion. You've ruled on a motion. You've ruled on something that was not what I moved. What I asked was statements were attributed to me repeatedly, as to which I have personal knowledge because I am the source. They are not true. I never made those statements. I asked that they be stricken. This has nothing to do with whether or not they're based on depositions, which they're not.
Oh my God.
It's simply based on the fact that I'm the witness. I'm the only witness. Those statements are not true, and I ask that you strike them.
How hard is that?
President.
What, is he going to do it again?
Let him rule.
Mr. President.
So what they're referring to was House Impeachment Manager David Cicilline, who was...
We could literally get, you could take any random group of Americans and put them in charge of this, and we could probably have it done way faster.
It was before they played the Rudy Giuliani voicemail to Tommy Tuberville. This was on the phone call. It was based on a CNN report indicating that he called Mike Lee's cell phone. The president did, and then from there, then Mike Lee apparently handed the phone. This was according to David Cicilline's presentation. So this is basically the moment they're debating.
Oh yeah, they don't want to ruin it too much.
Now we'll take you back.
The yeas and nays have been asked.
The yeas and nays have been asked for.
Oh my God.
Let him explain. Please let him explain, Mr. President. Why is it false? What was not false? What was false about it?
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent to answer the senator's question.
Is not in order under Senate Resolution 47, Section 4. Party's presentation not limited to the record provided for in Section 1 of that resolution. And that has been appealed. The yeas and nays have been...
I literally think I heard a guy just go, "I'm done." I think I just heard somebody say, "I'm done" there.
Section 1 of that resolution. And that has been appealed.
I don't know. I think I heard him say, "I'm done." Like, no, we're done.
Yeas and nays have been requested. The clerk will call the roll.
Yeah, I agree, Jet Ski. People are all corrupt and blind with power and money. They don't do this for the people. They do it for their pockets and their bank accounts. Amen.
I was obviously watching all this in Capitol Hill. So Casey, like I said,
they keep cutting away from it to try to save his face a little bit.
Listen in.
What is the question?
Dude, this is cringe. I don't even know. We haven't even gotten to that point yet, Snake.
AC Hunt, you want to?
This is literally all about just trying to strike something off of the record.
Are they looking for a parliamentarian ruling here?
Chuck, this is all very confusing, and we're trying to sort through it right along with all of our viewers. The challenge here is
very
that,
confusing.
and you summed it up nicely, what Senator Lee is objecting to, which is how this account of what happened on the day, this call from President Trump that had reportedly come in to Senator Lee. The issue here is senators are actually not allowed to speak on the floor during an impeachment trial. You may remember that from the last time we did this about a year ago. They are allowed to make motions. So I think what Schumer may have been referring to there as he was caught on that microphone is that they can't really have this conversation here. There is obviously some confusion on the dais on the part of Leahy, who is presiding, and
exactly 6'8".
The parliamentarian
essentially
as well.
What's going
it's
on
been
here.
difficult to decipher exactly which rule they are.
I don't understand how anybody could be in politics. Like, how fucking full of shit do you think this woman feels for trying to, for having to try to explain what's going on and not make herself look like a complete jackass, even though she's successfully done that.
Are trying to sort out, and as you can see, the senators are
lasagna night at the fucking
gathering
retirement
around what is the majority leader's desk
out.
now in the Senate to try and figure this out. And that voice that you heard there was Senator Joe Manchin speaking up and saying that he wants an explanation for what exactly was false in the manager's presentation.
Yeah, I know, for
the
real.
other piece of this, Chuck, that I can provide some backstory here. Again, I've said this earlier on in the day. We, as TV networks, are sharing limited spots in the galleries where you can watch these proceedings. And our pool reporter.
Well, I mean, hopefully Guantanamo wasn't made bigger for no reason. Three Stooges could do a better job, for real.
From ABC was in the chamber as Cicilline was making this presentation, and she was actually watching Mike Lee, and she reports that he started scribbling furiously on a pad. I
have a video in here somewhere about Gorilla Glue.
Again, it's pretty close, so it makes some sense here. She said she could read, "This is not what happened," on the piece of paper, and then he folded that paper into thirds and handed it to David Schoen, President Trump's lawyer, who then nodded in response and said yes. So clearly there's been some communication on this ahead of time. Mike Lee, I think we should remind everyone,
one of these is
and Chuck, you know
feel
this
like one
well.
of them's about
he is
Gorilla
somebody
Glue.
who
I have no
focuses
idea, though.
quite a bit on, I would say he's a stickler for the rules, if you will.
Good luck figuring it out. Take it easy, Snake Boy. We'll see you on the flip
He digs
side.
into procedure. We'll just leave it at that. Yes.
Exactly, and he wants to, do everything
Wait,
exactly.
What? A girl put Gorilla Glue in her hair? Wait, hold on. What the fuck? Buttercup, baby, just to let me down.
Baby, just to let me down. Let me down.
Hey, they're not wearing masks in this commercial.
Geico Motorcycle. This woman is in a very sticky situation. She ran out of hairspray and used something that may shock you.
I use this Gorilla Glue spray.
You heard right. The same Gorilla Super Glue from those wacky commercials.
Gorilla Spray Adhesive for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Now Tessica Brown has big regrets.
I mean, you look good.
Bad idea. Yo, look, my hair, it don't move. You hear what I'm telling you? It don't move. I've washed my hair 15 times. And it don't move.
What have you used to try to get it out?
Quartering, maybe that was the one I saw.
Oil, we did cooking oil, olive oil.
She also tried washing it out with shampoo.
You need like acetone to fucking get rid of this shit.
Nothing got rid of the glue. So Tessica posted this video on TikTok, hoping for advice. Instead, she was ridiculed.
Gorilla Glue woman. Dumbest girl on the face of the earth.
Tessica,
is she really gonna get paid?
Even sought medical treatment at her local emergency room in Louisiana, but couldn't tolerate the burning of the acetone wipes they gave her.
What is your biggest fear?
Oh, so they did try to give her acetone.
Gorilla Glue says they're sorry, but says their product should never be used on.
All right, let's see. Does Salty Cracker have a video on it? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, holy hell, my friends. Do these lefties know how to pick the bestiest of the best role models when it comes to looking for...
Oh, dude, I mean, I would just deal with the acetone and just, you know, your skin will recover, man. Oh, man.
people to follow the footsteps.
Yeah, you know, there was a guy when the microwave first came out. He put his cat in the microwave and cooked his cat alive, and then sued the microwave company because it didn't say you couldn't dry your animal or your pet in the microwave.
Steps of, you know, you got these sports athletes who are known for kneeling during the national anthem. That's what he's known for. Not pass completions, not yards. No, he's known for kneeling. Oh, that's fucking stupid. You got fentanyl addicts, right? They love the fentanyl addicts, boys. Look at this dude over here. Oh my God, oppressive systemic racism's done killed Mr. Dunn. It was the fentanyl. It's probably that fentanyl. No. Racist. Let's burn 7% of this country down. Oh, that's stupid.
Oh, okay.
You got that other chick, I say her name because she's banging a drug runner, and then when the police show up to the dude's apartment, they start blasting at the cops, and then she ends up getting shot. But somehow it's everybody else's fault, right? Everybody else. It could be the boyfriend's fault. Could be the dude who was shooting. No. She's now a role model.
I don't know, man. According to the boyfriend, he said that she was the one shooting, but I don't know. I think he might have went back on that. Could always wear a big afro wig.
Stupid people following stupid people, I guess. And now add this chick to the list. I'm sure you've seen this idiot over here. This chick done put super glue in her hair. She ran out of some sort of hair glue spray, and so she said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go down to fucking Home Depot, and I'm going to
why
get
wouldn't you just go buy more
super glue
hairspray?
that I can buy over the counter. I'm gonna put that in my hair instead.
You know, I had a guy in my family that had, at one point in his life, he had a mohawk. It was like 3 feet tall. And, I asked him one day, I was like, dude, how the hell do you get your hair to stay that way? And he actually puts Jell-O in his hair to get it to stay. So you can actually use Jell-O as a fucking hairspray.
Dumb. That's a dumb move, all right? Take a look at this chick. We're over at TMZ. Gorilla Glue hairdo. I still can't get this glue out after the ER. That's right. She ended up in the ER because as that glue dried up, it tightened, started to pull this chick's hair out, man. Took her scalp, shrunk it, made it look like a prune. Probably an immense amount of pain.
Ghost, you had a fucking mohawk?
Of course, there you see it, my friends. Might be time to sue.
It's the gelatin, yeah. You use epoxy.
Don't put super glue in your hair. What are you going to sue over? You're stupid.
Dude.
You can't...
Yeah, imagine if you ran out of lube and this fucking girl went and grabbed a bottle of Gorilla's glue and didn't tell you. Remember that? That would be a fucked up hospital visit. You got your girlfriend's hand stuck to your dick. Back in the day you did.
Sue somebody else because you're stupid, but because of identity
absolutely
politics,
giggling.
because of the actual racism that is out there, that's very prevalent from the left. This bigotry of soft, low expectations from white liberal women.
Yeah, but isn't
this
that almost
totally
like water-based?
And by the way, everybody knew that this dumb idiot was going to sue.
Oh, that happened in American Pie? Feeding her idiocracy by letting her believe she has grounds to sue by making it a story. Yeah, well, I bet you if she wasn't black, bro. If this was some white chick, they would have told her to fuck off and you're stupid. But yeah, unfortunately, it's like Gorilla Glue, I guess, is racist now. It's kind of weird how she picked the Gorilla Glue out of all glue, you know. She might even try to say that the Gorilla label is somehow racist. You can see my mohawk on my thumbnail. Oh, sweet. I'm going to show the fucking stream that. Check out Mr. Mohawk, guys. Oh, well, it won't let me make it any bigger than that, but yeah. That's pretty sweet. He is correct. Low expectations is racist. What's her excuse for the eyes? Yeah.
Here is her lawyer, my friends, Xavier Pope. He's going to go hard for this
Not
chick.
the wood glue?
He's a lawyer. He's the host of Suit Up News, everybody. Sports legal contributor. Sports legal contributor. He's a legal sports law. He's going to go over to consumer law. I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's see. What's he got to say?
You guys think it's weird? Like, you guys remember when, that one chick, she made a joke about somebody looking like a monkey from Planet of the Apes. And because the lady was black, it was like deemed a racist thing, and she got it was Roseanne. Roseanne, don't you think it's kind of like racist in itself to like think that it's offensive? Because like if you think it's offensive, then you must actually see where you kind of look like a monkey. Like the lady must have seen that, right? Or at least noticed that. So it's like when black people compare themselves to things, it's almost like they're creating racism that isn't there, and it's just what they're perceiving. I don't know where I'm going with that.
The label on the Gorilla Glue product she used says, "Do not use on eyes, skin, or."
Why is it called white glue? She did look just like the Planet of the Apes. She did too.
Clothing,
yeah.
Everybody. No mention of hair.
So like, if you think being called a monkey is racist because you're black, aren't you kind of calling yourself a monkey? You know, like, she obviously saw what Roseanne was talking about because she took offense to it. Just makeup, not even real, right?
Which Tessica feels is misleading. The fact that there are forms of adhesive used in hair products, she might have a claim. No, she's got no claim. She's got no claim. Don't put on skin.
Right, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Lawyers are such grifters, by the way. But of course, right.
Like Roseanne didn't call her a monkey because she was black. She called her a monkey because she looks like a Planet of the Apes monkey, and she really does. Planet of the Apes monkey. Who was the lady that got called that too? Oh man, oh wait, let's see. Roseanne Planet of the Apes joke. See if we can find like a screen grab of it. Yeah, dude, like straight up. Like you can't even argue that she doesn't look like a monkey. Like, come on. I would have been like, okay, yeah, that's a good one. You got me. I mean, that's like a spitting image. Even the hair is similar. So those actors in monkey face, that's right. Yeah, apparently so. Yeah. If you dig into it, if you keep digging into it,
you can't come at this chick. You can't mock this person. And of course, I gotta imagine the people who make Gorilla Glue are like, holy shit, how much money do we got to throw at this chick to make this go away? Because you know full fucking well, if they get into a court system, they're gonna be like, she's black. Just no. Just give it to her. Just give it to her. No, we don't want to fight over here. Because we'll be called racist.
I don't know who she is.
Racist. That's that bigotry of soft
She's
expectations,
Iranian,
low
even.
expectations. You're treating this chick differently because of her skin color, and these people over here, this grifter, he's going to try to make as much money as possible grifting on this grifter's grift. It says...
See, like, he even put the big Gorilla Glue label, like, right next to her and shit.
The label, he says, don't put it on eyes or skin. Motherfucker, she put it in her hair. It's on her scalp. Last time I checked, and I am not a medical professional, motherfucking scalp is skin. Right? Am I right?
You'd think.
Damn. He comes at this, and he says, Dear Internet, by the way, products liability protects you, the consumer. 13 million of you go to the hospital every year because of products, and the economy is impacted by $1 trillion every year by it. Products should be made safer and adequately warned of unintended use. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Oh, the guy's a fucking lawyer and a comedian.
The only one about the hot coffee I totally get, in a way. There was like an old lady that ordered coffee, and she like went to take the lid off, and it like spilled in her lap, and she got like 3rd-degree burns and shit. I mean, I totally get that one. What up, Shake and Bake? The thing about her is fake eyelashes, eyes, hair.
Boys, look at this. This woman is an idiot. This is a stupid thing to do. She should be horribly embarrassed, and she should be shunned, mocked, and laughed at by the internet. But of course, she won't be. Because again, you lefties are saying if you mock this idiot, you're a racist.
Was that after he came into Chicago from Kenya or before?
No. We had no problem mocking people like this. Look at woman mistakes super glue for eye drops and ends up with stuck eyelid. This happens all of the time. I remember people making fun of this all of the time, whether maybe Saturday Night Live or In Living Color. This was a running continual joke when we started producing super glue in those little vials all of the time. So you're allowed, I don't know why where's the image after this? It's a white chick. So of course you can make fun of this person. Of course you can make skits about this. It's totally funny when it happens to everybody except no, not because of the woke hysteria that we're in now. Now you can't mock black people when they do something like this. Why can't I mock white people but not black people when it comes to the misuse of super glue? That's racist, idiots. You're treating people different based on their skin color. That's you doing that, by the way. You tolerant, progressive numbnuts out there. So no, has absolutely nothing to do with anything other than woke feelings and you guys trying to run a grift on a corporation because you know full fucking well that every executive and every lawyer working for Gorilla Glue right now is like, it's Black History Month, everybody. We're going to get dragged hard. If this chick takes us to court and we beat the shit out of her with common sense in a courtroom, you know we still are going to win in the public opinion. On television, we're going to be dragged. On the inner zones, we're going to be dragged. No. They will fold faster than Superman boys on Laundry Day. We will use old 90s dad jokes on this channel. You know this, by the way.
I used to masturbate to Jemima boxes when I was young,
of course,
so I'm offended they canceled my first
girlfriend. That's going to be the direction it's going to go into. They don't care about common sense. Motherfucker is even on internet. Her lawyer is on the internet, specifically mentioning that both these dumb assholes know full well that you're not supposed to stick this on your head. He's reading the label. Don't put it on your skin. Scalp is skin, asshole. But of course, you know they're coming for that race grift. Here it is, by the way. I'm going so hard for that black woman. What's her skin color got to do with anything? Okay. All right, I'm going hard for that black woman because black people are disproportionately impacted by being injured by products they buy to save money. Because, you know, systemic inequality. And they don't have the same access to redress injuries. And 85% of the motherfucking lawyers are white. It's all connected, everybody.
There we go.
It's all connected.
But his legs,
Pepe Sylvia, amount of
I just went outside. It's snowing where I live.
Oh no!
Can I sue the news? They said it's not till Friday.
White people love making glue, and they make that glue super duper strong to screw black people. Then when black people pour that in their fucking hair, pour it on their scalp, they get fucked over by it. Then there ain't no fucking white lawyers out there, man.
Oh yeah,
it's all systemic.
The Time Magazine well-funded cabal
systematic racism would kill black
they
people.
pretty much came out and admitted it.
Hey, this is racism. This is where we're at with this.
Tim Pool made a video on that. Let me find that.
You dumb assholes on the left keep telling everybody that this is the worst time on this planet, in this country, for race relations. You're going, oh, black people are being disproportionately murderized by meth gators, big-ass Asian hornet bees, and COVID-19, and, of course, white people. You can't be saying shit like that and then also be like, and you know what, man? Gorilla Glue? And not being able to redress the negative impact of this chick's misuse of that product on her fucking hair out there all has to do with racism too. No, you're just making shit out of whole cloth over here.
Oh,
motherfucking grifters, boys. There you go. 85% of lawyers are white. Are they? Are they, by the way? Are 85% of lawyers white? Are Jewish people considered white? I don't think this dude knows what the hell he's talking about. But of course, he doesn't need to be a good lawyer. Of course, he is not a good lawyer. He's the world's worst lawyer, by the way. Motherfucker over here. He blows up his own case with this tweet right here.
Right.
Dumb asshole. But of course, racism is everybody. So stand down, shut up, don't talk about it, don't mock this woman, right? Don't come out there and make videos of how this dumb idiot got exactly what she deserves by putting super glue in her hair. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? Hey, man. Hey, listen, man. I'm going to take some of this super glue and I'm going to directly inject it into my veins.
Oh, I wish I could find that video Tim did about it.
Doesn't say not to inject and freebase Gorilla Glue, everybody. It doesn't say it.
Yeah,
therefore,
okay,
if I do it, I should be able to sue. Oh, I'm the wrong color. I can't get away with that. I can't get. Hey, don't do that, by the way. To any of you angry fucking lefty morons who sit there every day and angrily watch my video, thank you, by the way, for helping me with the algorithm. Don't do this. I know you dumb assholes will fucking do anything out there. Don't do that. Don't freebase Gorilla Glue.
No freebasing.
Excuse me, let me put down my food drink real fast. Well, are you telling me that I can put Gorilla Glue in my
If you just glue your eyes shut, your nose shut, and your mouth shut, I think you'll be okay, Jetski.
in my bottom surgery? Well, that seal it up. Don't put Gorilla Glue in your bottom surgery. Bottom surgery is still technically skin, assholes. Don't do it.
Oh my god.
I was out there trying to shove a big old dildo up my butthole, and I ripped my bottom surgery, everybody. Will Gorilla Glue fix it? Don't do it. Don't do it. Idiots. there you have it, my friends. We all knew that this grifter was going to grift, and she was going to take this to a court of law, boys. And she right on track. The Gorilla Glue hair chick going to court. We found her lawyer, and of course,
sure didn't take her long to get into court. Did it?
Incredibly stupid lawyer, but a gigantically perfect race grifter. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Support the channel. If you want to be kept up to date with this race grifting, hit that subscribe button and make way, because the salt must flow.
Gotta love you some salty. We do have some videos, guys. Some updates here from the Seattle area here.
Lawyer. So you're a politician. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Another politician. Taking advantage of the fucking death of a black man. Good for you. Good for you. Be proud.
Oh, I love this guy. Taking advantage of the death of a black man. Good for you.
Politician. Taking advantage of the fucking death of a black man. Good for you. Good for you. Be proud of yourself. You fucking opportunistic. All the good.
All right, why does being gay mean... No, this isn't live. This was from Seattle. Remember when we were watching from the upstairs angle? These were the guys that we seen out on the ground yelling. But, and I have nothing against gay people or lesbian, but why, how come when gay people talk, like, no offense against this guy, but, like, they have to do it with, like, that, like, listen here, you know, like, you'll hear it in his voice. You know, like, just listen to how he says it.
You fucking opportunistic. All the good.
You're an absolutely fucking, you know, like, I don't know. Surprised they're not out riding tonight since they were shooting with cops yesterday night, right?
Go home. Go back to the suburbs.
Like, I understand you can, yeah, flamboyant, I guess you could say. I just, like, I understand you can be gay, but, like, I didn't know it came with the, with, you know, being gay, I didn't know came with a voice, you know.
Came from.
Your daughter used to live in this area?
You're fucking Proud Boy.
Good thing it's
Take
used
the
to.
mask off, so we know who you are. You're fucking Proud Boys in our neighborhood, assaulting
Yeah,
our
see, like,
neighborhood.
Freddie Mercury, you wouldn't even know Freddie Mercury was gay unless he fucking told you.
Every night. Get out of here.
And help them.
You QAnon bastards, go to jail.
Go do some good. Go help someone. Why don't you take 20?
Like, I could tell you that guy was gay right away.
4 hours? That's 100 hours. Instead of destroying stuff on the streets, you could take 100 hours.
Stereotypical gay voice, yeah.
One of you is black.
People. You could
Not
help
one
someone
of you
who
is
needs
black.
to read. You could help someone who I can't eat. You could go help someone. You could bring them and go get the COVID
Co-opting
vaccine.
a movement.
But instead, what are you doing here? You're burning down streets. You're causing trouble, all because you can't get your facts straight.
Oh my God, it was just getting good too.
Politician.
It was just getting good. Oh, do we have any more? I love hearing people's reasoning.
I'm willing to listen. Do you have anything to back up that claim?
That's his property. It's going to our evidence unit.
Okay. Is he ever going to get it back?
Yes.
Are you sure? With 100% certainty?
I can't control what he's going to do, but he'll have the information.
Until he got the
So
mustache.
if he doesn't have an ID, he's not going to be able to come
Fucking love Freddie Mercury, man. Then it just becomes a natural way for them to talk,
back
right?
and get it, is he?
I'll be right back, guys. Gotta grab a brewski.
Okay, cool.
The food can't go to our evidence unit, so that's why the food's left here.
Okay, so 2-3 days worth of food is just going to go rotting. Cool. Thank you. You're serving us so much right now. I'm willing to listen. Do you have anything to back up that claim?
That's his property. It's going to our evidence unit.
Okay. Is he ever going to get it back?
Yes.
Are you sure? With 100% certainty.
So yeah, that guy, I have no clue what his beef is. And then of course we have him out on the famous streets here. This must be where this guy lives. This must be some kind of, this is 12th Ave. So yeah, they always pick this intersection for some reason too. I don't know why. Let me check BG on the scene. Oh yeah, we do have to go through some of these as well. Good thing I remembered that. So yeah, guys, this was the Super Bowl, man, which was admittedly the worst fucking Super Bowl ever. Least viewed, least rated Super Bowl. But it did not stop people from partying. People are fucking everywhere. Look at that, not a mask in sight, baby. Oh wait, there's one. It's nice to see that's not, people aren't letting it stop them though. Glad Brady got it. We all knew he was gonna, Macho. When I heard Brady was playing in the Super Bowl, I was just like, yeah. Yeah, I seen Portland Andy was out there. Portland Andy looked like he was having a good-ass time. Yeah, I would have loved to go to the Super Bowl back in, like, the 90s. When shit was fucking real. So yeah, people definitely were having a good ass time. Why is that, Macho? Why would you want to delete your account? Damn, that car's fucked, bro. That car's fucked. Yeah, dude, the halftime show was stupid satanic. Totally fucking was. Give me 1 sec, you guys.
Restricted my page.
Thank you, Respawned. Oh, dude, Respawn, I literally just, this is the same video we just watched. It's crazy. All right, anyway. Because football is the devil. Dude, halftime shows are always satanic, man. They're always satanic. There is a guy. Let me see if I can find it. We'll come back to these videos here in a sec. I want to check something. There's a guy that does a really, really good job of explaining what like the halftime shows. Let me just see if I can find it.
Is that the guy who like killed people last night? What is going on? Can you open that?
Might be somewhere in this video. Hold on.
If I go over there.
This is from earlier. I'm just playing this so I can find something here. Oh, I wish I could just find it.
I can't tell what's going on.
But yeah, there is a video somewhere out there that basically shows how
What the hell?
How there's
is
symbolism
actually
in
going on right
everything.
now? That can't be the cops talking.
I'm gonna check one more video.
Huh? Oh shit! Dope. What was that? That's like the 90s just drove by.
Well, yeah, no, there's definitely symbolism in fucking everything. Nothing is by coincidence. I was looking through Jay Meyer's documentaries to try to see, because he does talk about it somewhere, but...
You're furious. I think oversight, community oversight of anything, community policing. Let's produce a real solution.
So you can hear those guys we were listening to earlier through this vid.
I don't know if you guys ever heard February is.
So yeah, that's still gonna be going on. Oscar J. Myers, no, just J. Myers. J. Myers documentaries. Yeah, that car's fucked. J. Myers, like M as in like mom, Myers, M-Y or M-E-Y-E-R-S. We'll play one of his documentaries. Hell yeah. Oh my god, dude. Smash that like button. DK killing it tonight. Thank you, Keith. Hell yeah, it was probably fun to be out there. Yeah, everything looks pretty peaceful, to be honest. No, I'll see if I can find a video really quickly. One of Jay Myers that kind of talks more about some of the less crazy shit.
A lot of yelling. Sweetie, what's going on over on that side?
We're fighting with each other.
Are they? Oh, okay, here we go. Loudest voice in the room. Is this Capitol Hill or not? Right. The loudest man in the room. Calling everybody an opportunist.
Yeah, you can totally hear that fucking guy.
Every night. Get out of here. You QAnon bastards. Go to jail.
I love this.
What up, y'all? What up, Veritas?
4 hours? That's 100 hours. Instead of destroying stuff on the streets, you could take 100 hours and go into
Not one of you is black. Not one of you is black.
That's awesome, Pearl. Sam Kinnison's in the house.
All right, let's see what this one is.
Lots of people are real upset. Like,
we have before us the opportunity to forge a new world order. A world.
These videos, dude, this guy's production quality is fantastic. Glad to see residents are finally confronting them, right?
Not the law of the jungle governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order.
Be right back, you guys.
They're known as one of the most influential families in American politics. A true political dynasty built on money, power, and secrets. But the Bush family is a lot weirder than you think. Behind glowing TV interviews and a carefully crafted public image lies a seriously dark and shady family with long-standing connections to the deep state and shadowy secret societies such as Skull and Bones and Bohemian Grove.
You don't burn me once again!
Could Barbara Bush really be the daughter of Aleister Crowley? What's with the fetus kept preserved in a jar?
You showed him the fetus in the jar.
Well, really, the truth
touched on
is,
it before.
And why were children trafficked into H.W. Bush's White House?
For using the services of a call boy ring. Call boy ring. For giving a late night tour of the White House last year.
What is the real truth behind the Bush's all-American facade? Join me as we explore the dark side of the Bush family.
For real.
The
That's right.
mainstream media.
Skull and Bones. This guy makes really good videos. Get involved in your local county and state assemblies, y'all. What up, River Styx?
For 3 generations, the Bush family has pledged a secret oath to a mysterious order known as the Skull and Bones. It's one of the most exclusive and notorious secret societies in the world, recruiting the elite of the elite from among the junior ranks of Yale University.
See, I wonder what this shit's all about, really, the Skull and
is a
Bones.
satanic death cult for bloodline families, formerly known as the Brotherhood of Death, and it certainly lives up to its namesake. Every year when new members are initiated, screams and chanting are heard echoing from the society.
This isn't the one I was looking for, but pretty much every one of Jay Myers' videos I like. Some of them kind of get into the like outlandish in my opinion, but some of them make sense to me.
He was part of a team that successfully recorded part of the initiation ceremony that takes place in the tomb's courtyard. And what did you?
In one of his videos, though, he talks about how there's symbolism. Like a lot of his episodes are like 20 minutes long, and one of them he talks about like Super Bowl fucking Super Bowl halftime shows and how satanic they are. You'll have to check it out. Same thing as the SS Death Squad on their helmets. Really?
You know, you managed to get this unique.
Oh, it was disgusting. It was gross. I mean, they
What
were
up, my man
pretending
Chris?
to murder people.
What was the
How you doing, buddy? Welcome back.
Was it jokey or was it quite?
No, it
No,
wasn't
it's
jokey
Meyer.
at all. It was
Jay Myers
I don't
documentaries.
can describe it. It was sick.
What you're hearing is the first recording ever made of the Skull and Bones initiation ceremony. It has never been broadcast before.
Really, River?
15 new members of the club are being introduced into the macabre rituals of Skull and Bones by the senior students who are about
Just wanted
to
to
graduate.
say hi. I'm watching you from my
The club
TV. What up,
has some
Renee?
might
And
see
shout
as
out
a
through the
strange
TV.
fascination with death, skulls and bones. There's the chants too, difficult to hear first of all, but including the devil equals death.
By the way, guys, this is like a mock a mock killing of some kind they're doing.
During the initiation, ritual members are forced to kiss the skull of Geronimo. Then drink what they claim to be
live police
fake
chase
blood
in
from
Cali.
the skull.
The daring student was surprised by what he saw inside the fountain.
There was
I will
actually
try to
some
find that.
sort of red residue in the fountain, which I imagine to be blood. But I have a feeling they do some strange rituals with the family.
Live police chase in
These two
Cali.
skeletons look like they're hushing people in some way.
During their initiation, candidates must recount all their sexual exploits. Finally, they are expected to perform various oaths, kiss some feet, and drink blood. They then have to lie naked in a coffin. And, after masturbating in full view of the others,
what?
Where? To never reveal their membership.
Who's streaming the feed?
The Skull and Bones initiation process featured prominently in the 2006 movie The Good Shepherd, starring Matt Damon.
Skull and Bones.
It's a long-ass movie, by the way, The Good Shepherd.
Accept.
But few Americans realize that both father and son have already taken an oath to a mysterious and powerful secret society known as Skull and Bones.
George H.W.'s father, Prescott, was the first generation of Bushes to be tapped to join. Prescott
All right, I'll just bring in
made
Smokescan
millions
for now.
funding Hitler during World War II.
Trying to find where
directly
Smokescan gets his
profiting
feed.
from concentration camp slave labor.
I became the first journalist in U.S. history to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt or any refutation of the facts that Prescott Bush, the grandfather of George W. Bush, and George Herbert Walker, his maternal great-grandfather for whom his daddy is named, were Nazi traitors to the country who should have been tried for treason.
I bet they are, Jenny.
It was he who
Yo, what up,
ransacked
DK?
the
What up,
grave of
CJ? How you
Native
doing?
American
Welcome back.
legend, Apache Chief Geronimo, and took his skull back to Skull and Bones headquarters, where it has been used for their rituals ever since. Among the other items found at the tomb are genuine Nazi relics and occult regalia.
See, now that's weird. Skull and Bones has ties to Nazis?
Alexandra Robbins, a Yale graduate and author of a book on the subject, stated that the society owns a valuable collection of Nazi objects and memorabilia, and eats its dinners off Hitler's private silver service.
Wow.
A large part of their liturgy.
Absolutely glad to have you back.
But if you thought that was weird, the Bush family is about to get a lot more bizarre. For years, rumors have swirled among alternative researchers and conspiracy circles that Barbara Bush, George W.'s mother, could be the daughter of Aleister Crowley, the notorious 20th century occultist admired by the satanic elite. The notion is roundly ridiculed by mainstream sources. However, the historical circumstances are nonetheless correct for this to have occurred, so much so that a British documentary about Crowley entitled In Search of the Great Beast devoted a segment to the rumor and explains how Barbara Bush's mother met Aleister Crowley. Not long afterwards, she was pregnant with Barbara, who bears a striking resemblance to Crowley.
By 1924, Crowley was
See,
living
that's
in
fucking
poverty
bizarre.
in France. An old friend and famous literary figure and occultist, Frank Harris, kindly took him under his roof. Frank Harris lived with a woman by the name of Nellie O'Hara. If what has been written in later years can be believed, Nellie had a friend in America, Pauline Pierce, who was married to Marvin Pierce, head of the McCall Corporation. In early 1924, Pauline traveled to France to stay with her friend. Thus it was that four individuals came together: Frank Harris, Nellie O'Hara, Pauline Pierce, and Aleister Crowley.
Aleister Crowley's a creepy dude.
According to Crowley's diaries, during this period in Paris, Crowley underwent the supreme ordeal, linked with his realization of the grade of Ipsissimus. According to a description of the rite, on the appointed day, the candidate is attended by one or more chosen and experienced attendants whose duty is A, to
Too bad we will never really know the truth about this shit. You never know, dude. All it takes, in my opinion, to know like what happened on 9/11 or to know what is going on with the Bush family or what was written on that envelope that was given to the Bush family is one person. You know, all it takes is one person to literally just be like, I've had enough. And the secret gets out. Smokescan said he has crashed twice already and kept going. Wow.
To rouse
Looks like he's in a Dodge.
by every known means. Every device and
I have not Veritas.
partisan is to be employed, and every stimulant.
Apparently
known
Ford and
to the
IBM and
physician.
others. I wouldn't be surprised.
If Crowley did go through this ordeal in 1924, then it is highly likely, based on his previous experiences, that his...
Yeah, Jeb died inside, bro. Jeb gave... It was definitely something awful. Yeah, no, you're exactly right, Wilzo. But, I mean, it could be somebody in their family that has a terminal disease, and they're like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to reveal the secret. What are they going to do? Kill me? I'm going to be dead anyway. You know?
closest associates of that time, including Nellie and Pauline, performed as his magical assistants. Pauline Pierce returned to America in early October of 1924. 8 months later, on June the 8th, 1925, she gave birth to a girl named Barbara. Barbara Pierce married George H.W. Bush, who eventually became the 41st
Dude, Laura
president
Bush was
of the
fucking
United
weird,
States.
bro.
And they had a son, George W. Bush, the 43rd president.
Did
of
you
the
guys know
United
Laura Bush kept her stillborn fetus in a jar at her house? I recommend if you want to know about these people and the Illuminati.
States?
I will have to check that out,
Could
Veritas.
the wickedest man in the world, Aleister Crowley, be George W. Bush's grandfather?
I think so, man.
I will be eager to see what you guys think about this in the comments section.
Okay, you think the
For
politicians
most women,
are getting
a
Kurt?
miscarriage is a devastating and deeply
Getting
personal
Kurt? What do you? Who's Kurt, Chris? My brain's drawing a blank here. Been watching World War II documentaries recently. Henry Ford gave Hitler money to fund his coup. Ford was a huge anti-Semite.
experience. But Barbara
I did
Bush
not know
crossed
that.
the line into the macabre when she kept her miscarried fetus preserved in a jar and
Well, Bush
casually
was
showed
cute.
it off to her sons.
Oh yeah, I know. Isn't that weird?
Special permission to write about it. He wrote that when you
I
once
think
had
this
a
is the interview where they talk
miscarriage,
about it.
You showed him the fetus in the
Yo
jar.
ho down the
Yeah, I
rabbit
already
hole.
touched
That's
on
right.
it before, but you didn't
Paula put it
elaborate.
in a jar.
Right here.
Paula, it's not in the library. No,
I know.
George, Paula put it in a jar.
And my mom's what I learned was she's a straightforward person. She says to her teenage kid, here's a fetus. Kid, here's a fetus.
Who else but Aleister Crowley's daughter?
Wow,
would
dude.
keep their own fetus displayed in a jar.
By the way, rest in peace, Larry King.
Recently, several women have accused the father H.W. Bush of sexual assault.
Sean Harras.
Some of whom were underage at the time, hinting at a much darker Bush secret alternative researchers and whistleblowers have been speaking about for quite some time.
We're in the area of the Rothschilds.
It was June 29th, 1989. The
I'll have to look
Washington
into this guy.
Post front page headline revealed that quote-unquote callboys had been taken on midnight tours of Bush Sr.'s White House.
And if Washington doesn't have enough to talk about these days.
And hold on, you guys. Looks like we're coming to a climax here on the fucking.
Them into custody. We are off White Avenue here in Pomona, just off the 10 freeway, and we will continue to follow this termination of this high-speed pursuit. Mike and share.
What's gonna happen?
I can't right now.
So wait, I missed some of this. Is he saying Barbara Bush is Aleister Crowley's daughter? Yeah. New tweet for you, DK, and Streamlinks got you, Macho. Thank you, buddy. Shaq Posobiec. Breaking, Georgia Senator Warnock under investigation for voter registration misconduct. What? From Forbes. And it won't let me read it because I have ad blocker on. All right, hold on. Warnock served as chairman, yada, yada, yada. And then they feed you with so many ads, it's unbelievable. did he even do? For his role as a board chairman and voter registration organization founded by Stacey Abrams, the election officials say failed to follow deadlines in what appears to be the latest legal step in ongoing feud between the progressive Abrams and the Senate Republican election officials. Ah. Interesting. But not shocking for some apparent reason.
This morning.
Yeah, fuck that. I ain't fucking with a moose.
That was the first time I have ever touched a live moose.
Yeah, you better run. You better run.
Holy
Helena Belivsky, I have no idea. As creepy as Aleister Crowley. So is that a Marina Abramovich chick? She's fucking weird. She does like that spirit cooking crap. What up, Westman? Alright, are we just gonna have a standoff here? Let's get a couple highlights going. Oh, come on. I wanted to see the highlights. No audio coming out of that one. The Tool Society. What is that? Thule? Hool? I have no idea. Abramovich is kind of like today's Blavatsky, methinks. Dude, she's like 61 or some shit, and she don't even look like it. Marina Abramovich, age.
Doors opening.
74 years old.
The windows come down, those doors opening, that driver now stepping out of the vehicle, hands above their heads. It looks like we do have a possible female driver here. What they're going to do now is take this situation very slowly, like we were talking about, Mike. And
wow, she don't look 74.
That driver step away
yeah,
from the
adrenochrome.
And they could do
potentially.
one of two things. Have that driver
I wasn't expecting that. 74.
Up to those officers and be apprehended. They're having the driver lift their jacket right now just to make sure that they don't see any.
This chick does not look 74.
But with this pursuit,
does not look 74.
Police and California Highway Patrol have done what they're supposed to.
Remember back in the 90s when they would have police chasing the newscopters and they'd have vans on the ground following the chase? It was awesome. Yeah, the old days, man. Fucking O.J. Simpson days. That's a man, baby.
Being patient with the termination of this pursuit, asking that driver to back up.
You heard she's a dude?
Arresting officers. They're going to have a.
I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked.
Ground, hands above the head, and then that arresting officer will come up and arrest that suspect. They're going to take their time with this, though. Again, they make sure that the suspect doesn't have any weapons or anything to worry about. But you can see there that the driver now being taken into custody. We haven't heard any.
70's the new 60.
Whether there are any passengers. The airship overhead.
It's a new 58.
Their best to look inside the windshield and windows of the vehicle. With their infrared cameras to see if they see anything inside, and it looks like we do have a passenger in the vehicle, and they are approaching that vehicle now, and they're going to back away now because they don't know the state of that passenger coming out. Hands up,
boy!
Facing the officers, though, they're going to ask them to turn away.
Yeah, there's a whole story behind it.
Same routine as they did with that driver.
I'll have to look into that.
Towards the officers in a very controlled manner. And
I was really into that shit for a while. Yeah, that's the engine smoking right now. He's probably got a coolant leak or something because he did get into an accident like twice or 3 times. So he's probably got fucking coolant just leaking onto his engine block and it's just smoking.
Ready with the shield as well as their less than lethal options.
I mean, he was flying. This guy was moving, man.
Also cover that arresting officer from any other surprising possible passengers that they weren't expecting. They didn't see that passenger in
Hitler supposedly kept a book by Blavatsky on his nightstand.
But it looks like now
probably inspired Mein Kampf.
The stance of those officers at the vehicle, they don't see any other possible
Oh wait, we gotta find that one video.
passengers or dangers to that vehicle, and they are going to be calling this a code for a safe and secure scene here off of White Avenue in Pomona.
Oh, it was so funny. Oh, I wish I could find it.
Well, we read it and...
Oh, this is it. All right, we're watching it in a second here. What up, Susan? How you doing? I got a bowl of rice. Is that what that is? Bowl of rice? It actually sounds fucking super good. Makes sense to you after reviewing the evidence? The evidences? Alright, looks like we're good on that.
We love it!
Fucking love this scene right here.
Well, we read it and we don't like it. We love it! You got me! I could have killed
It's about Mein Kampf, or whatever.
Well, we read it and we don't like it. We love it! You got me! I could have killed you, Mr. Weinberg.
Well, there's another funny one. Oh, there was like a Hitler joke. Oh, was it this? Oh no, dude, it was so fucking funny. Oh, I'm never gonna find it. Oh well. See if I can find it in my history.
Who's that? A free TurboTax live tax expert.
Why do you need a tax
expert? His advice is free, and I can file for free.
Is my
For
son
sure,
still
Denise. I
independent if he-
definitely will. Oh, this is it.
You've done this work, and you get a call from the Führer. And the Führer goes, all right, Nietzsche. He goes, yeah, good, what do you want? He goes, just read your book.
Yeah, this is it.
Old Adolf. That name's
It wasn't
died out,
Louis
hasn't
C.K.
it? He killed that dead, didn't he? No one's
Take it
calling their
easy,
kid
Denise.
Adolf nowadays. No little Adolfs going to school.
Have a
Loads
good
of
one
Brads and Angelinas, but no, look, you don't hear the teacher doing the register.
Have a good one to
Brad
you
here,
as
Angelina
well.
here, Adolf here. I do that quick so no one can take a picture of me doing that. No, but people make excuses for him. People say, oh, he was stupid, he was easily led, he didn't mean that. What do you mean he didn't mean that?
I love this
no,
bit,
he's
bro.
influenced by the political philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, right? Because Nietzsche wrote this paper talking about a Superman. He said, not all men are born equal. And Hitler misinterpreted this and went way too far with it. And think of that. You're a great scholar, you've done this work, and you get a call from the Führer. And the Führer goes, all right, Nietzsche. He goes, yeah, good, what do you want? He goes, just read your book. What do you think? Love it. Love all that. Man and Superman, not everyone's equal, kill all the Jews. Sorry?
Sorry? Ricky Gervais.
Not everyone's equal, so kill all the Jews. I didn't write that.
Yeah, you did.
I read between the lines. I didn't mean that. That's terrible. You haven't been killing. You haven't been killing Jewish people, have you? What? Have you been killing Jewish people?
Yeah, exactly. Itchy nads.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit. A few.
Just a few.
How many? 6 million. 6 million? That's all. I won't do any more. Leave it at 6. That's terrible. I won't do any more. Stay for dinner? Well, I will, but be careful in future. I will. Are you writing any other books? Well, I am, but I'm scared to tell you about it. I won't do anything. What's your new book called? My new book is called The Gypsies. Do we need them?
There is one country that works.
But yeah, dude, I fucking love the guy, man. He's fucking hilarious.
By the
The Washington Times report.
Actually, before we go into the finish off that vid, we do have a couple update vids. Oh, what was that one? So here is Seattle again. This is about 2 minutes ago. Oh, absolutely, River. The Golden Globes, I've watched it a few times. So yeah, that is another update coming in out of Seattle. Let's check the hashtag and see if there's anything else. It looks like we're good.
Today that unidentified White House aides in the Carter, Reagan, and Bush administrations now are being investigated for using the services of a call boy ring. The paper reports that 2 of the male prostitutes were doing
Oh, dude, I
late-night
loved
tour
every
the White
second
House
of it,
last
Cuddleback.
year.
One of those boys was Paul Bonacci.
Why am I calling you Cuddleback? Cuteback? Soul Cuteback?
Who was later awarded $1 million in federal court against
Yeah, the look on Tom Hanks' face, that and the Apple CEO.
He claims to have witnessed George H.W. Bush at elite D.C. parties, where he and other children were passed around.
But I've seen some parties down in Washington. I've seen President Bush there, which I'd rather not talk about him.
What year was that? Was he president or vice president?
Yeah, exactly, no. That's what makes no sense about any of it at all.
I've never met him as president because he became president in '88, and I never went around him after that.
You saw him at how many of these parties?
I seen him at about 3 or 4 parties because the vice president was there, so they had to have all the Secret Service. I didn't do nothing with him. He was with a black kid and he was with a white kid.
2 separate parties, once with a white kid and once with a black kid? Is that right? So you saw him twice?
Yeah.
And the kid had to perform oral sex on him? And what happened after they finished?
He just got up and left and...
I've been writing in my books now since 1998 that Father George Bush is a notorious pedophile, child torturer, child killer, and serial killer of adults as well. Said it on American radio. Still waiting for a response. And this is one example. A lady who became a friend of mine, Kathy O'Brien, who was in the American government mind control project since she was a kid. And met her many times. She still corresponds with me now and again.
I know, right, Joey? It's kind of a weird dynamic.
Lovely, lovely girl. Totally shattered by these people. And that's one example of millions and millions that are going on around the world. And this is what she said in a book, Transformation of America. Kelly's bleeding rectum was but one of many physical indicators of George Bush's pedophile perversions. I have overheard him speak blatantly of his sexual abuse of her on many occasions. He used this and threats to her life to pull my strings and control me. The psychological ramifications of being raped by a pedophile president are mind-shattering enough. but reportedly Bush further reinforced the traumas to Kelly's mind with sophisticated NASA
I'm not sure this guy's name. I've seen him before.
electronic and drug mind control devices. Bush also instilled the "who you're gonna call and I'll be watching you" binds on Kelly, further reinforcing her state of helplessness.
I'm trying to think of his name right now.
And trauma that I endured as a child now seem trite by comparison. They're not.
David
I know what she
Icke.
went through.
Okay, yeah.
To the brutal
Yeah.
physical and psychological devastation that George Bush inflicted on my daughter. And that's just one of these people involving one of the victims of this.
The rabbit hole here goes deep, but it seems Bush Sr. and the CIA were using these children as part of a honeypot operation to blackmail certain politicians. November 22nd,
That's interesting.
1963, a day no American alive will ever forget. The news blasted across every radio bulletin in the nation, and soon the world.
This is Edwin Newman in the NBC newsroom in New York. This information from Dallas. 2 priests who were with President Kennedy say he is dead of bullet wounds. This is the latest information we have from Dallas.
President John F. Kennedy had been shot dead in Dallas, Texas. The nation was stunned. No one could forget where they were that day. No one except for George Bush Sr., that is, who conveniently claims he doesn't remember where he was that fateful day.
UK's Alex
Convenient
Jones.
because a picture taken at the scene shows a man bearing a likeness to him outside of the schoolbook depository.
Does really look like him, actually.
Bush claims he wasn't in the CIA at the time of the Kennedy assassination, but a declassified FBI memo from 1963 names a, quote, George Bush of the CIA. When asked about the memo, he replied, it must have been some other George Bush. Please. Kennedy had vowed to
I feel you.
destroy
Lisa Perkins, the rabbit hole goes deep with this shit.
break it into 1,000 pieces and scatter it to the wind. Later at LBJ's memorial, Bush couldn't restrain a laugh as he referred to the deranged gunman who supposedly shot Kennedy.
America. After a deluded gunman assassinated President Kennedy,
You think so, no?
Today, far from sitting on the sidelines, the Bushes are still a powerful Illuminati bloodline family, known to attend Bohemian Grove rituals and wield a great deal of power within the deep state. So let me know what you guys think about this real-life Addams family.
Yeah, that's fucking strange, man.
For unknown reasons. So I'm not saying that. Time
Here's
Magazine
the shit about Time
is,
Magazine, though, dude.
I'm 100% serious.
This is them, you guys. This video literally shows the fucking cabal that we have been called conspiracy theorists about. They literally admit everything that we have been saying for months on end.
Curious. An article titled The Secret History of the Shadow Campaign that saved the 2020 election. Time Magazine literally describes it as a cabal of powerful elites across
They're
industry
rubbing
and
it in
ideology
our face.
engaging in a conspiracy to manipulate information, to suppress information, to change the rules, to ensure the proper outcome is delivered. The proper outcome. Some people have said, wow, I can't believe they're saying the quiet part loud. And I'm just saying, I mean, it's brazen, but they're admitting
Fuck yeah, it is.
You know, look, before the election, I had been saying that Democrats were rigging the game. And I'm not saying anything illegal occurred. What I'm saying is there's rules in an election.
Yeah, something
And
with
the Democrats
Monroe,
changed
that was
those
weird
rules in
as
many
hell,
ways
too.
that favored them. If we're running in a race and then you make a rule that, you know, imagine a horse race, okay? If you make a rule saying
I knew school
that
was brainwashing
your horse
me, I
is
didn't
allowed
know
to
it,
leave
was,
the,
to
you know,
turn
the
me into
stable
a
or
brain-dead
whatever, or whatever
commie.
it's called, the holding pen. They're allowed to start running.
Oh, absolutely.
5 seconds before everyone else. I'd say, dude, you're rigging the game so you can win.
Yeah,
You're
I
changing
agree,
the
CM.
rules. You can't call it breaking the rules when the rules were
Not a big
changed
fan
to
of Tim
benefit
Pool.
them. So I'd been
Tim
saying
Pool, he's
they've been
okay
rigging
sometimes,
this.
but I'm
well, they're
suspicious
coming
of
out
him
and
for
admitting
reason-
it.
for
It is one of the
reasons,
most shocking
instinct.
things I have ever
I
read.
think Tim knows more than he leads on.
They claimed in the media that they needed mail-in voting because of COVID. In fact, mail-in voting started getting implemented well before COVID. October 2019, for instance, in Pennsylvania, when they violated, in my opinion, the Constitution of the state and then eventually the Constitution of the federal government. The Constitution of Pennsylvania provides for how absentee ballots can be delivered. I'm sorry, how absentee ballots can be cast as a narrow ruling.
Yeah, I mean, he does
Republicans
describe
and
himself
Democrats
too as a
changed the
fence
rules
sitter,
to allow
but
mail-in voting.
But I really think Tim's just trying to protect his industry and protect like his business, which kind of makes him look bad sometimes.
But at first, they wanted to create universal absentee. When they realized it would violate the Constitution, they stopped. They were actually planning on changing and amending the Constitution. Instead, they just altered some language in the bill to make it legal. When they were sued over this, a judge said,
Tim Pool is a fence sitter and plays both sides. He does. I think he just tries to show fair, like dead down the middle. You know, he tries to play both sides to give both perspectives. But I mean, I don't like, hate the guy or anything. I think he does good reporting.
This would go to a higher court. It was being appealed, and that this lawsuit would likely win on the merits. That it was unconstitutional to change this law. At the higher court in Pennsylvania, they dismissed it on standing. I'm sorry, I think they dismissed it on latches.
All about
actually,
the Benjamins,
saying that the lawsuit was brought too late.
See, but if like Tim Pool started like taking a side, YouTube might just straight up remove him, and then we don't get to hear from Tim Pool at all. I think part of it's about money, but I think most of it's about him just trying to maintain. Like, if personalities weren't getting removed off of the internet for saying certain things, I don't think Tim would be as freaked out, because he does talk about stuff on his, like, behind his paywall that he won't talk about on YouTube, and he literally says that on YouTube. So you can see the Beanies comment section. He gets heat from both sides. Hey, what up, Puffin? Hey, big ups, DK in chat. What's going on, Puffin? Welcome back, buddy. Most of it is maintained straight up. It really is. I think if, like Section 230 gets repealed, or I should say reworked, I don't think we should repeal it, but it definitely needs some work. I think if these platforms didn't have the ability to silence you and destroy everything you've created, I think he would be a little more, he would talk a little bit more about what he really feels,
Bill had already been passed, and it's been way too late. Not merit. Meaning, not only did a secret cabal, according to Time Magazine, conspire to prevent Trump from winning.
This shit is crazy,
but the
though.
rule changes that were brought about were unconstitutional. And many Republicans assert that as much. In order to change the rules of an election, a state legislature must approve it. But they say around 24 states changed the election rules without permission from their legislature, notably the key states that Donald Trump needed in order to win. They're just telling us this. Let's read this article.
All right, just to liven it up a little bit, we're watching this first. Platforms that control content are not platforms, they are publishers, right? But they have the protection of a publisher or a platform while trying to be a publisher. I think Section 230 should allow them to be platforms, and I don't think somewhere like YouTube or something like that should even be allowed to be a publisher, because it's a public place, it's all ass backwards to me.
With 2 of these made-to-order breakfast sandwiches for just $4. Get the breakfast you deserve now, 2 for $4. Only at Wendy's.
This dais is the perfect metaphor for where America stands today. Look at our economy.
Oh, I think you're right, Bullwinkles.
Barely moving, gasping for air, and desperately clinging to life. Very much like Larry King. The only difference is, with Larry, we have a never-ending supply of gas. Never ends.
Yeah, YouTube needs and that's the thing though with Section 230 is they're allowed to act like publishers, but they have the protection of a platform. So pick one or the other. You're either a platform or you're a publisher.
The country of ours was built on its entrepreneurial spirit.
They're hiding behind the protections the government gave them.
Best demonstrated by none other than my friend Snoop Dogg. His is a tale.
Snoop Dogg, I thought you hated Trump. What happened?
Of do-rags to riches. True. It's true.
Wow, he's
very proud of
laughing.
that.
It's not racist right now, Snoop Dogg?
That's why I'm so happy to see Snoop sitting up here next to his former rival,
Oh, yeah.
Biggie Smalls.
You'd
right
be
here.
surprised yet. Oh, are they Bullwinkles?
I want to talk about one of the women of the
Wonder how I
days.
can get in on that.
This amazing lady struggles with a seemingly insurmountable physical handicap.
Exactly.
I speak,
exactly.
of course, of Whitney Cummings.
You mean when platforms suppress
Whitney's
free
career
speech, they
is
become
crippled
publishers? Is that what you
by
mean,
her
no?
foul mouth. To hear that filthy language from someone so marginally attractive is frankly very unpleasant. Lisa, or as I call her, Miss USDA.
You know what's crazy, you guys? This was uploaded in 2018.
I want you to be a judge at my next Miss Universe pageant.
Yeah, I got you, no.
You're perfect because, like the universe, you're constantly expanding and filled with dark matter.
But they all loved them back then.
But there are some things that have brought shame upon this great land of ours, besides Lisa. I speak of the atrocities that we as a nation must endure, like the Jersey Shore. A piece of advice, my greasy friend. You don't need to put all of that product in your hair. You just don't. Look how great my hair looks, and I don't use anything. And it looks very good.
It does. It looks damn good. Yeah.
What's the difference between a wet raccoon and Donald J. Trump's hair?
Oh, yeah, that's what it was, Bullwinkles.
Doesn't have 7 billion.
They used to fucking be, like, best friends with Donald Trump. You remember, he used to be in, like, all their rap songs.
Fucking dollars in the bank.
Oh, dude, I got the fucking worst part.
A wet raccoon doesn't have 7 billion fucking dollars in the bank.
Dude.
Very funny. Okay.
Yeah, get up and
very
clap
funny.
for that money. Uh-huh.
America is going through tough times, and we all need to laugh. True. I know that better days are ahead. If we believe in ourselves, and the way I believe in myself, and I really do believe in myself, then come June, if I decide to run, you'll have the great
so this was before he ran for president.
pleasure
Okay.
of voting for the man that will easily go down as the greatest president in the history of the United States. Me, Donald John Trump. God bless America, and good night. Good night.
Yeah. What happened, guys?
I'm going to go through the whole thing. Before we do, my friends,
be right back, you
go
guys.
to timcast.com and become a member, please. We are creating members-only content as we're putting together this website. We're going to be expanding because I will likely be banned. I mentioned my Facebook's already restricted. You hear me say this in almost every video, so I apologize, but it's true. They're telling us now what I would get banned for saying. They are publishing in the news that when I would have said something similar a month ago, they would have banned my channel. And now they're just saying it. You see how the game is rigged. Over at timcast.com, we can say, for the most part, whatever we want. So we swear, we talk about conspiracies. We have a new segment, it's about 20 minutes long, talking about Navy technology. They've reported engineering the fabric of reality. So there's a lot of really interesting conversations. We talk about trafficking and things YouTube doesn't want us to talk about. In the event I do get banned on YouTube, which seems likely, we will still have content up at timcast.com, and we will still be expanding new websites and new shows, etc. So go there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. So long as I am able to produce on YouTube, I will. Let's read the story from Time Magazine.
They should play that
the
video
secret
in the Senate
history of the
tomorrow.
shadow campaign that saved the 2020 election. A weird thing happened right after the November.
Shout out Phil, my man. Thank you for that $3 donation. on the Streamlabs. Hello, first time trying this. How you doing, Puppin? Thank you, man, for that $3 donation. Let's get some fire in the chat.
The nation was braced for chaos. Liberal groups had vowed to take the streets, planning hundreds of protests across the country. Right-wing militias were girding for battle.
Thank you so much,
In a
Puppet.
poll before Election Day, 75% of Americans voiced concern
Every
about
donation
violence.
goes to keep
Instead,
the stream running,
an eerie
folks.
quiet descended. As President Trump refused to concede, the response was not mass action, but crickets. When media organizations called the race for Joe Biden on November 7th, jubilation
What up,
broke out
Giggy?
instead.
How you doing, buddy?
As
It's been a
people
while.
thronged cities across
Cheers.
the U.S. to celebrate the democratic process that
Love
resulted
you,
in Trump's
Puffin.
ouster.
Cheers to you too,
Let
buddy.
me just stop right there. First point. These people who are celebrating
Man,
are
I'm
jumping up
breathing
and
my
down
ass
in
off
close,
down here.
close proximity to each other, many taking off their masks and sharing champagne bottles.
I don't suppose anybody here can donate me some heat.
But we were told throughout the year that COVID was dangerous and we couldn't do this. When Trump supporters went
Damn,
out
it's cold down here.
and
Fuck.
protested the lockdowns, they were called really, really awful things. Certain words I can't say on YouTube. You see how the censorship works. They were called horrifying names. They said that they were threatening the safety and security of the country and that they'll go down in history as awful people.
Yeah, the
But
fire
when the
warms
left went
me
out and
up,
protested,
man.
it was defended. Studies emerged saying that the Black Lives Matter actually reduced the spread of COVID. Special rules were given to the left to espouse their ideology, and special rules enacted to stop Trump supporters. And they admit all of it. They say,
Right? Dude,
a
this
second
is,
odd thing happened.
This, when he starts reading this, you guys, this is the most horrific shit. Everything they called us conspiracy theorists for, they go on to basically admit happened. Fresh out of heat here in Missouri.
Make Trump's attempts to reverse the results. Corporate America
Feel
turned
ya.
on him. Hundreds of major business leaders, many of whom had backed Trump's candidacy and supported his policies, called on him to concede. To the president, something felt amiss. Quote, "It was all very, very strange," Trump said on December 2nd. "Within days after the election, we witnessed an orchestrated effort to anoint the winner, even while many key states were still being counted. In a way, Trump was right." Are you ready for this,
Mike
my friends?
Lindell shows...
Quote, "There was a conspiracy unfolding behind the
Yeah,
scenes,
dude, it's
one
fucking
that both curtailed the protests and
14
coordinated the
degrees or some
resistance from
shit
CEOs.
right now. Let me look.
Both surprises were the result of an informal alliance between left-wing activists and business titans. The pact was formalized in a tense, little-noticed joint statement of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and AFL-CIO,
Yeah, it's fucking
published on Election
17
Day.
degrees out where I'm at.
Both sides would come to see it as a sort of implicit bargain, inspired by the summer's massive, sometimes destructive
65 degrees
racial
here in
justice
Tampa
protests,
Bay,
in which the
Florida.
forces of labor came together with the forces of capital
I'll take that,
to keep
man.
the peace and oppose Trump's assault on democracy. The handshake between business and labor was just one component of a vast, cross-partisan campaign to protect the election. An extraordinary shadow
Damn,
effort
Shauna.
dedicated not to winning the vote, but to ensuring it would be free and fair, credible, and uncorrupted.
Fuck, man.
For
I'm
more
cold.
than a year, a loosely organized
All I did
coalition
was
of
walk
operatives
into the other room and now I'm
scrambled to
freezing
shore
my
up
ass off.
America's institutions as
Should
they
probably
came
shut my
under
door.
simultaneous attack from a remorseless pandemic and an autocratically inclined president. Though much of this activity took place on the left, it was separate from the Biden campaign and crossed ideological lines, with crucial contributions by nonpartisan and conservative actors. The scenario the shadow campaigners were
Let's go to
desperate to
Florida.
stop was not a Trump victory. It was an election so calamitous that no result could be discerned at all. A failure of the central act of democratic self-governance that has been a hallmark of America since its founding. Their work touched every aspect of the election.
Negative
They got
23
states
and
to change
can,
voting systems and laws and
Kazakhstan.
help secure hundreds of millions
Remember the
in
show
public and private
Wipeout
funding.
DK? It's coming
They
back.
fended
I do.
off voter suppression lawsuits, recruited armies of poll workers, and got millions of people to
Wipeout's
vote by
coming
mail for
back.
the first time. I'll pause here. They say the goal.
You know what I wish would come back is Legends of the Hidden Temple.
goal wasn't to stop a Trump.
I was like,
they
maybe
said
that's just
that
I
they
have
were
a
not desperate to
nostalgia
stop a
for
Trump
it or
victory.
something.
They wanted to make sure there was no situation where there was no result at all, where we wouldn't know who the winner was. That's a lie. The left was not advocating to prevent an election where we didn't know who the winner was. I mean, you could say that's sort of the result, the goal, but they literally
Didn't someone
said
recently die on a Wipeout set recently? Ooh, I don't know.
they were changing voting systems. They were trying to get people to vote by mail. The vote by mail that came in.
Oh shit! Let's see what's this.
That way I'm not walking through the cam stinkers too.
Wow, look at that, dude! Look at that wreck.
Now, see, we know now. Look, it is a scat pack, like we thought. I told you, 392, because you could tell by that hood.
It's a scat pack, dude. That is a nice whip.
Front end of that whole thing off. Look at that.
It was a heart attack,
the
though.
whole front end is gone. Are those roses in the? No, what is that on the windshield? Because I know I used to hang out with some chicks that used to do that. Like they'd get a rose and leave it in their car. Oh, he gave me a rose.
At 4 in the morning, and all of these jurisdictions was like
man.
95% for Joe Biden. So forgive me.
That was a nice car.
I am of the opinion that the evidence suggests they were seeking to stop a Trump victory. They go on to say, they successfully pressured social media companies to take a harder line against disinformation and use data-driven strategies to fight viral smears. How would that have prevented an election where no one knew what the winner was? Stopping people from learning about the Hunter Biden story before the election. They did that. They suppressed the story.
Yep.
And then after the election, they admitted it.
Dude, how many people here talk to somebody? How many people here talk to somebody that didn't have a clue about the Hunter Biden laptop story? And Joe Biden getting 10 big ones, save 10 big ones for the big man or whatever. I was shocked at the amount of people that did not know that shit was going on.
What does that have to do with anything? All that did was help Joe Biden, they say.
That was fucking weird.
They executed national public awareness campaigns that helped Americans understand how the vote count would unfold over days or weeks, preventing Trump's conspiracy theories and false claims of victory.
Your mother even didn't know.
Traction.
Wow.
You see, they were trying to prevent Trump from winning. They go on to say after Election Day, they monitored every pressure point to ensure that Trump could not overturn the results.
What were we fucking saying? Oh my God, I hate that they're just like rubbing it in. You know all that shit we said that you guys were conspiratorial about? It's all true. And as a matter of fact, here, let me lay it all out for you guys on how we did it. People around me are low IQ, to be honest. I don't like people around me either, Will, so I feel you. Yeah, dude was 38, but according to them, it died after completing the course.
The untold story of the election is the thousands.
Oh, you mean kind of like how they say 5 people died at the Capitol riots, but like 2 of them, I think. I'm pretty sure like 2 of them. A guy died on the phone. He had like a stroke or a heart attack, and then the other one was a guy that had a stroke or a heart attack just from all the excitement. I think it was a heart attack. Yeah, not even related to any type of rioting. So, yeah.
People of both parties who accomplished the triumph of American democracy at its very foundation, says Norm Eisen, a prominent lawyer and former Obama administration official who recruited Republicans and Democrats to the board of the voter protection program.
Trump anyway. Hey, that's
Trump
my kind of mom.
Were running their own campaign
Shout out to Bullwinkle's
spoil
mom.
the election. The president spent months insisting that mail ballots were a Democratic plot and the election would be rigged. His henchmen at the state level sought to block their use, while his lawyers brought dozens of spurious suits to make it more difficult to vote. An intensification of the GOP's legacy of suppressive tactics. Now, I want to point something out. If you're on the right, you can clearly see this as an attempt to stop Trump from winning. If you're on the left, they say it's an attempt to protect the integrity of the election.
And I don't know how you can even think that.
It was about power for both sides. And the reality is, Time magazine said a cabal, I'm not kidding, they actually say the word cabal, conspired to change the rules. I'm not okay with that. I am absolutely not okay with that. We have rules. We agree to the rules. We play the game. The
Exactly. 2
Democrats
suicides
and
weeks
Republicans
after the
together
cop that
changed
was
the rules to
killed
prevent Trump from winning.
fire extinguisher, the family
The
said
will of
didn't
the
happen.
people was Donald
Exactly.
Trump.
And
They
then
did
on top of
everything
it,
in
too,
their-
is every person that died in the Capitol riots was a Trump supporter. So will not drink a single drop of alcohol until Sunday.
Power to make sure that did not happen.
It's okay, Josh. I'll drink
Now,
it for you.
In the end, for a variety of reasons, Joe Biden got more votes. There's some interesting video emerging that maybe we'll get into later as this evidence starts to come out.
Right,
that
exactly.
corroborates some of
Fuck
the
you.
claims
Exactly.
made by poll,
Have a great night, Veritas.
vote tabulation watchers, observers.
Take
that
it easy,
call into
buddy. We'll see you
question
on
a
the
lot.
flip side. Kind
We
of a slow
still
day.
don't have definitive evidence, so I'm going to refrain from saying too much.
10
but I've
shots of
personally seen some of these
197
videos, and I find them to be,
damn.
well, it's nightmarish.
I wouldn't even be
to say the
functioning
least.
right now.
What I can tell you is I'm shocked Time Magazine published this, and, well, let's read more. They say, the democracy campaigners watched with alarm. Every week we felt like we were in a struggle to try and pull off this election without the country going through a real dangerous moment of
it gets
unraveling.
worse, Wilzo.
Says
God
former
bless
GOP
you too,
Rep. Zach
Veritas.
Wamp, a Trump supporter who helped coordinate a bipartisan election protection council. We can look back and say this thing went pretty well, But it was not at all clear in September and October that it was going to be the case. This is the inside story. Here we go.
Yeah, it's crazy to hear it.
Do you know what a conspiracy
It's crazy to hear it right from the horse's mouth.
Conspiracy typically works, is defined as people, working in secret to engage in some kind of outcome.
I didn't,
and it
Bullwinkle.
typically
What
refers
up,
to
Alan?
a crime. They say it's the conspiracy to save the 2020 election, based on access to the group's inner workings.
There you
Never
go,
before
Veritas.
seen documents and interviews with dozens of those involved from across the political spectrum. It is the story of an unprecedented, creative, and determined campaign whose success also reveals how close the nation came to disaster. Every attempt to interfere with the proper outcome of the election was defeated. Proper outcome?
The proper
What does that mean?
outcome?
Proper outcome? You see?
Yeah, so basically what they're saying is the proper outcome would be Joe Biden winning, even though we don't know what the proper outcome could be. I got you on that link, she's saying. So yeah, this is fucking scary, man.
Ian Bassin, co-founder of Protect Democracy, a nonpartisan rule of
It
law
basically proves that they planned on stealing the election all the time. You know, like the proper outcome. Well, who are you to determine the proper outcome?
advocacy group. But it's massively important for the country to understand that it didn't happen accidentally. The system didn't work magically. Democracy is not self-executing. That's why the participants want the secret history of the 2020 election told. Even though it sounds like a paranoid fever dream, a well-funded cabal of powerful people ranging across industries and ideologies, working together behind the scenes to influence perceptions, change rules and laws, steer media coverage, and control the flow of information.
Let me give you an email to
They were
send
not
it to.
rigging the election. They were fortifying it. And they believe the public needs to understand the system's fragility in order to ensure that democracy in America endures. Enough said. My friends, it goes without saying. Powerful elites
at Alan,
working
bro,
behind the
here you
scenes
go.
to change the rules and the laws, to manipulate the flow of information, to change your perception, is the opposite
There we
of
go. There's
democracy.
my
It is what we have seen from fascistic and authoritarian regimes throughout history.
There's my email
And they're
right there,
telling-
Alan.
They're telling us this. Why? Well, they're getting out in front of it. They're framing everything in a very positive way. They're telling you it wasn't about Trump, but we know it was about Trump because they said they were trying to stop Trump. They were trying to stop Trump's conspiracy theories. They were
I don't know if
fighting
I'll
to
show it or
stop
not. I'm
Trump,
gonna have to go through it
but then
and
they
see.
lie. The goal of this is to make
If you don't think it's safe enough to send over a public way, I don't know if it's. We'll see.
sure that you believe
For sure, Alan. I
the
appreciate that.
presumably criminal conspiracy, okay, they call it a conspiracy, sure, to assume that these actions were noble and just. It's to write in the history books that those that subverted our rules and changed our laws to rig an election,
fucking
they did
gross.
it for good reasons, and you should like them. It's like having someone take over your country and then tell you they're the liberators.
For sure, Alan.
It's like the United States invading Iraq, saying we will be welcomed as liberators, and then
Just let me
having
know
the
when you
people
send it so I can
reject
check.
us and fight us at every turn. It's almost like it's propaganda. If we're engaging in a free and fair election, this means that one side does not conspire to change the rules. It doesn't matter who you wanted to win.
Yeah, I have I have a couple backup
if
emails I
Joe
made the other
Biden
day.
won
Just
fair
like
and square,
random
I'm
email
totally fine with
sites that don't mean anything
But
to me.
he didn't, and they're telling us this. I'm not exaggerating when I read
So I
you
made a
this. I
couple
read you
backup
this
emails.
verbatim. A well-funded cabal of powerful people ranging across industries and ideologies, working together behind the scenes to influence perceptions, change rules and laws, steer media coverage, and
change rules and laws, and then steer media coverage.
control the flow of information.
Yeah.
That's how they define it. That's not rigging the election, they say. It's fortifying it.
That is rigging the election.
If you
That's the
steer
definition.
media coverage
Fuck.
and control the flow of information, you're rigging the system. If someone doesn't know how to properly win a game and you are feeding key information to their opponents, you're rigging the game.
Gotcha,
Remember
cupcake.
when Bernie Sanders was going to be debating Hillary Clinton and CNN gave Hillary Clinton's people questions in advance? Well, that was called rigging. When information is provided to some people and not others, when certain information is restricted, I call that rigging the system. They're calling it fortifying because they did not want Trump to win. To them, they were defending the system from Trump's fascism. The architect, they say, is Mike Podhorzer, who became, they say, the architect. In fall of 2019, Mike Podhorzer became convinced the election was headed for disaster and determined to protect it. This was not his usual purview. For a quarter century, he was a senior advisor to the president of the AFL-CIO, the nation's largest union federation. You know what I love? The pipe fitters who endorsed Joe Biden. And then Joe Biden came and shut down Keystone, and now they're crying. They supported this. The unions supported this. They talked about endless
That's the worst part, to be honest,
they
right
go on to
there.
say, Trump's election in 2016, credited in part to his unusual strength among the sort of blue-collar white voters who once dominated the AFL-CIO, prompted Podhorzer to question his assumptions about voter behavior. He began circulating weekly number...
When I was a kid, I had a rare problem. I don't even know. The doctors never figured it out, but my calf muscles locked up, and in 5th grade, I had to actually walk around with 2 canes. Like I said before, our whole system is broken. It needs to be completely overhauled. Sadly, it will never, because people are corrupt. Yeah, unfortunately, it's the downfall of the system is probably going to be the only way.
Punching memos to a small circle of allies and hosting strategy sessions in D.C. But when he began to worry about the election itself, he didn't want to seem paranoid. It was only after months of research that he introduced his concerns in his newsletter in October 2019. The usual tools of data analytics and polling would not be sufficient in a situation where the president himself was trying to disrupt the election, he wrote. You see what they said? They said it wasn't about Trump, but Trump was disrupting the election. How was Trump disrupting the election? Trump was working with his people in his campaign to spread information. They thought, let me just put it simply. If you hate Trump, you'll love that they did this. If you like Trump, you hate that they did this. The reality is, to varying degrees, they were both doing similar things. Unfortunately, Donald Trump...
See, and this is where I disagree with you, Tim Pool. They weren't doing similar things. In my opinion, the Republicans were literally just trying to get the word out about what they believe, and then the leftists were out there fucking stifling it in every possible way. I don't see how the Republicans and the Democrats are doing the same thing at all.
Wasn't doing nearly as much as
dual citizenship
they
just
were.
came from
The Democrats and their allies.
Came in,
the rules were being changed. The media was being manipulated.
Blows finally came from
Groundbreaking
Levita in
stories about
1903.
groundbreaking,
reparations.
earth-shattering is probably the right way to put it.
What?
Stories
Wow.
about Hunter Biden were suppressed and called fake news by NPR.
America does
Twitter
kind of blow
actually
sometimes,
banned the
but
sharing of
for
vital
the most part, it's
information.
pretty straight.
Many people polled after the fact by multiple agencies said that if they had known about Hunter Biden, they would not have voted for Joe. Social media companies sought to suppress this information.
Yeah, and that's how you rig an election.
Time magazine
Holy
straight
cow.
up saying it was a conspiracy. The alliance. Securing the vote. The first task was overhauling America's bulky election infrastructure in the middle of a pandemic.
Resilient and determined.
Wow, Tim Pool got an ad.
That's not true. Mail-in voting changes came in Pennsylvania back in October of 2019. Interesting timing. For the thousands of local, mostly nonpartisan officials who administer elections, the most urgent need was money.
Absolutely
they needed protective equipment like masks, gloves, and sanitizer. They needed to pay for postcards letting people know they could vote absentee, or in some states, to mail ballots to every voter. They needed additional staff scanners. In March, activists appealed to Congress to steer COVID relief money to elected administration, led by the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights.
What the fuck is wrong? I mean, I am talking about Twitter here, but Carlos Maza, you guys remember him, right? Says, I cannot overstate, because Tucker Carlson's trending. He's like, I cannot overstate how important it is to get Tucker off of the air. The damage he does to this country every night is immeasurable. And then Andrew Lawrence says, this is InfoWars shit, just completely batshit conspiracy theory blasted into your Mima's face. Wow. So let's see what he had to say.
So what does all of this mean exactly? We're not sure what it means, and we're not going to speculate. We do know for certain that the known facts of what happened on January 6th deviate in very important ways from the story they are now telling us, including the story they told us today in the impeachment hearings. And in many places, the known facts bear no resemblance to the story they're telling. They're just flat out lying. There's no question about that. The question is, why would they lie about this? For an answer, think back to last spring. Beginning on Memorial Day, BLM and their sponsors in corporate America completely changed this country. They changed this country more in 5 months than it had changed in the previous 50 years. How'd they do that? They used the sad death of a man called George Floyd to upend our society.
Yeah,
Months
I'm
later,
right
we
there
learned
with you,
the story they
Bullwinkle.
told us about George
I'm right
Floyd's
there with
death
you.
was an utter lie. There was no physical evidence that George Floyd was murdered by a cop. The autopsy showed that George Floyd
had like 10 times the lethal amount of fucking fentanyl in his system. He was on methamphetamines. He had THC and alcohol. I think alcohol.
It almost certainly died of a drug overdose.
But he definitely died from a fentanyl. He was going to die from fentanyl. Man was foaming at the mouth.
Fentanyl. But by that point, facts didn't matter. It was too late. Cities had been destroyed, along with the fabric of this country itself. Scores of people had been killed. Democratic partisans used a carefully concocted myth, a lie, to bum rush America into overturning the old order and handing them much more power. It worked flawlessly. So why wouldn't they do it again?
Yeah, and then I don't know where Carlos Maza is saying he cannot overstate how important it is to get Tucker off the air. The damage he does to the country every night is immeasurable. Well, I don't know what part of that was fucking wrong. Other than what you were saying, Mr. Carlos Maza. So, yeah, I don't get it. This is InfoWars shit.
At CNN,
was it possible to find Tucker Carlson more reprehensible? Sometimes you gotta say wow and move the fuck on. I just did exactly that. Seeing why Tucker Carlson was trending. Wow. Yeah, I don't. Oh my god, people are really going in on this one. He did suffer. He did have a fentanyl overdose. And yeah, at the time of that, holy absolute fuck, months ago, Tucker Carlson puts this chyron on his show. Now tonight he repeats the same lie, claiming George Floyd died of a fentanyl drug overdose. Not from Derek Chauvin's knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 50 seconds. He would have died from a drug overdose. He was in the process of dying from a drug overdose. He was foaming at the mouth. Oh my god. Wow, people are really going in on Tucker Carlson right now.
They say private philanthropy stepped into the breach. An assortment of foundations contributed tens of millions of dollars. Many people might not know this, but there was a big complaint from some Republicans that Mark Zuckerberg was funding a ton
there you
of
go,
this
CM.
personally.
I think he was one of the only people that died in the summer of 2020, not
I'm not
COVID
entirely
related.
sure it was personal. But Mark Zuckerberg, they said, was leading the charge, providing resources in the tens to hundreds of millions for these efforts. Voting in the park, vote-mobiles. These things have been challenged, and many of the lawsuits Trump brought about were struck down on standing. The lawsuits we saw claiming impropriety or irregularity, not fraud, were thrown out on standing. Now, you can argue that Trump had a bad hand and that Trump played his hand poorly. Sure. We never got a legitimate hearing on many of the issues that were brought up in sworn affidavits. Unfortunately, they're thrown out on standing because it seems to many people like a cabal of powerful elites were conspiring behind the scenes to prevent Trump from winning, much like Time Magazine is telling us right now. The disinformation defense. They say, bad actors spreading false information is nothing new. For decades, campaigns have grappled with everything from anonymous calls claiming the election has been rescheduled to flyers spreading nasty smears about candidates' families. That's true, and that's horrible and wrong. Laura Quinn, a veteran progressive operative who co-founded Catalyst, began studying this problem a few years ago. She piloted a nameless secret project, which she has never before publicly discussed, that tracked disinformation online and tried to figure out how to combat it. One component was tracking dangerous lies that might otherwise spread unnoticed. Researchers then provided information to campaigners or the media to track.
Yo, Alan, that is fucking crazy, dude. Harvesting organs from, which I'm definitely not showing. Wow. So apparently they harvest organs from COVID patients. Wow. I gotta see that one more time. Jesus Christ. Where is this happening at?
On the sources and expose them.
Italy?
The most important takeaway from Quinn's research was that engaging with toxic content only made it worse. When you get attacked, the instinct is to push back, call it out, say it isn't true. But the more engagement something gets, the more the platforms
that
boost
makes
it.
more fucking
the
sense.
algorithms read that as, oh, this is popular. People want more of it. What you need to understand when you read this.
Well, I was able to go to my dad's funeral, but
is that we were told over and over again
but I think
that lies and
a little
smears,
different with my dad.
Donald Trump's conspiracy theories, disinformation that must be stopped was, it was very dangerous and must be stopped. I bring you now to Mark Elias and the Democrats.
Well, that's
Donald
crazy,
Trump's
though.
team had claimed repeatedly that voting machines were miscounting ballots or there were errors and ballots weren't being counted properly.
Yeah, that is true.
That
It
was
wasn't
called
COVID.
disinformation. Donald Trump and his allies had talked long about these voting machines, and
Well, yeah,
now many
China
of them are being
harvests
sued.
organs from their
Well,
prisoners.
right now, we're learning that Mark Elias, a Democrat, is alleging that a Republican won due to voting machines improperly reading ballots. The National Review says, now there's just one remaining unresolved House election involving another
exactly,
Republican
Bullwinkles.
woman,
That was
Claudia
kind of what
Tenney,
I was
from upstate
referring
New
to
York's 22nd
earlier.
District, whom Elias is trying to bar from the House despite.
I think it was like 7 or maybe 5. I can't remember, but all of them were Trump supporters too. Yeah, really
a
weird.
122 vote lead over Anthony Brindisi. And guess what Brindisi's theory in
Really,
court is?
Shauna?
Quote, in this case, there is reason to believe that voting tabulation machines misread hundreds, if not thousands, of valid votes as undervotes, and that these tabulation machine errors disproportionately affected Brindisi. This is an election.
Thank you so much, Alan, dude. I
as election
appreciate
lawyers
that.
not involved in the case. Nope, far-fetched. But it is enough of a pretext for Brindisi to file an appeal based
I
on
had
the
to look
voting
up this
machines
word.
stole my election theory. Remember when they said that Donald Trump was lying about this?
Yeah. No, you're
and
right,
now they're
bro.
using the
You're
same
fucking
argument.
right.
It's not the first time, apparently. Mark Elias did something similar in Iowa recently. We are hearing now that much of what Trump claimed, the Democrats are claiming themselves. And here it is. What we're reading from Time Magazine is them telling us exactly
See,
what
like,
they've
listen to the fucking toxicity, dude. This is coming from a YouTuber I used to really like. Boogie. He says, being anti-mask is not conservative. Being anti-science is not conservative. Hating other people is not conservative. Being a bully is not conservative. But the Conservative Party is infested with these people, and that sucks. If you want unity, please get them out. Wow.
It's being framed by Time as though noble heroes were stopping disinformation.
Yeah, I know. I feel you,
But
Alan.
if you sift through the propaganda, the
My
story
buddy
is
drives
simple.
me up Moonshine every so
Partisan
often.
elites, not necessarily just on the left.
Yeah,
but
dude, they're looking to like bar Florida off from the rest of the country now over that shit, Bullwinkles.
mostly, with power and access to industry and their allies in tech and big tech suppressed information.
Man, I gotta pee.
Made
Be right
sure you
back.
didn't know what was going on, and then changed the rules to make sure Donald Trump would lose. They go on to mention research, spreading the word, and they outright show the people who are absolutely involved. People power. The racial justice uprising, the movement for Black lives. The best way to ensure people's voices were heard, they decided, was to protect their ability to vote. Strange bedfellows. They talk about never-Trumpers, Republican officials who were joining with Democrats, showing up, standing down. Election night began with many Democrats despairing. Trump was running ahead of pre-election polling. He absolutely was. In many states, he won. There were strange anomalies. There were many things that needed to be adjudicated that did not get adjudicated. YouTube will ban you if you make certain claims about voter fraud and irregularity. Now, I don't think we need to make any claims. I'm actually mildly perturbed by people who make YouTube videos asserting what they know to be true. Like, what I mean is, were there irregularities? Yes, there were. Bill Barr claimed there was fraud. He said they just did not see enough that would have changed the outcome of the election. There were many things that people brought up
Yeah, dude,
that
I'll
I
go to
cannot
Florida.
say had been adjudicated to a point where we can determine what they were.
I kind of agree
can't
with
say-
that, what you just read. As long as we're divided on such issues as masks and shit like that, we will still be playing into the hands of the elite who do not choose right or left. Right, exactly, Alan. Exactly. Don't know anyone who had even had COVID-19, and I work in retail 5 days a week. Yeah, I know a few people that have died, or like my buddy's grandparents died, and I feel terrible, but I don't know if it was really COVID related. He seems to think it was, but I don't know. You know?
However, that many people have opinions based on what they've read, and
A couple
they're
of my
allowed to.
buddies had COVID.
My reaction.
Russ had COVID, and he's fine. He just was like feeling like shit for like a week.
To say videos being released showing vans pulling up at certain at the TCF center is not that I know what it was, and I'm not going to say what it was. Just that
I mean, it's definitely
curious
real,
individual
but
might want to.
Is it real enough to fucking shut down the entire country and destroy an economy? I don't know. I don't think so.
Did you know that 80% of adult dogs have
What that was, and if we want accountability and justice, we should get to the bottom and explain these things. There should be some kind of
Most people
assessment
I know
when
that
we
had
see
it, though,
these
hardly knew it. Yeah, same here.
stories and irregularities.
I think I even had it.
Maybe not necessarily a commission. You know, we've seen Democrats
didn't
call for
think
some
anything
kind of
of it.
9/11 style commission. You know, looking over the election. But maybe when someone makes a claim and there's video evidence, we should at least say we looked into this. Here's our initial report. Unfortunately, that's not what's happening, and it's not going to happen. Why? Well, it seems reasonable to suggest that a cabal of powerful elites conspired to prevent these things from being adjudicated properly. At least that's the way it seems. That's the way it seems. My opinion is maybe there was fraud. Like
No, there was definitely
what I'm saying
fraud.
is,
Come on, Tim.
I've personally seen evidence of irregularity, potential fraud. That's actually how Matt Brainerd described it. He was the one who he was with the Voter Integrity Project, and he's the one who did the research. I've
See,
seen
like,
this.
that's where he goes
I
milquetoast
believe
right there.
it's all potential, but not been adjudicated to the point where I can give you a definitive assessment. The issue is it was all shut down with no opportunity for hard assessment, and that's going to lead to destabilization. It's going to lead to widespread doubt. So probably what we would need is a fair assessment and a breakdown of what this stuff was.
I think that
we
is
needed to go to courts,
affected a
and we
certain
need to
type
be able
of
to talk about
genome
it.
or
Well, now we can see
preconditioned
that even
immune
after
system.
all of this, big tech is preventing these conversations from happening.
Retail, I'm a vendor. I've gone to many
News stores
stores
are
all
being
over the area.
suppressed,
Nothing.
YouTube
My
channels
mom
are being
and dad.
deleted. Individuals
and
on Twitter and
74 each
Facebook
had
have
it
been
at
shut down
Thanksgiving,
completely,
1 week and gone
and it's
for
going
them.
to lead to much more rage, and it's going to get worse. They talk about the Liberal Alliance.
Yeah, see,
They
I think it has something to do with like you either have a pre-existing condition that makes you more likely to react violently or badly to it, or because like back in like late January, I was sick for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then my dad was sick, and my dad actually had to go to the hospital and get put on a breathing machine. But this was before like we knew COVID was around or anything
Talk
like
about
that.
the word going out.
And I didn't think anything of it, to be quite
the
honest with you
results,
guys.
and I think you get the point.
Or neither did my dad,
They even
for the
show
record.
when Trump supporters showed up trying to observe the vote counting process, because there were widespread complaints that people weren't allowed to observe the vote counting process, and that's true. We can see here they boarded.
Wow,
they boarded up the
Alan,
windows.
really?
They put up posters and cardboard.
Well, you hear what they're saying now, you guys, about hydroxychloroquine, right? Now that Joe Biden's in office, they're recommending hydroxychloroquine, and they're saying how it could actually help a lot of people. But literally the same journalists just a few months ago were saying how hydroxychloroquine is not going to help. It could actually make the situation worse, and yada, yada, yada. That's what I have to
People
say to
couldn't
that.
see. And then what does Time Magazine say? Trump supporters seek to disrupt the vote count. We're in trouble, my friends.
See, and like all they're doing, the Democrats, all they're doing is taking what they've been doing and then trying to reverse it and project it towards the Republicans.
We're in
Natural
trouble.
tobacco's oil is also good.
The Democrats are currently using the same.
I've also heard this too, that people that smoke cigarettes, like such as me, have like I'm less likely to get it because my lungs are fucking coated in tar. So even if the fucking virus gets into my lungs, it can't actually get into my body. but I don't know how true that is. I just heard that.
Tactics as Trump did. And I'm not sure it will work. It's far-fetched, but claiming that vote machines changed the outcome. We know that there are powerful elites manipulating the system, and they're admitting to it. And we're supposed to cheer them on. I'm horrified at what this country is becoming. The New York Times is advocating for private messaging apps to be shut down because misinformation can spread. What they're really saying is that individuals can communicate. We've all been locked down due to this pandemic, and we can't communicate with each other.
Heard that about
Meanwhile,
pot
the platforms
smoking, too.
by
Don't
which
know
we
if it's
communicate
true.
are censoring
I think
those
it just
who
has
say
to do
they-
with like the particulates, because like smoke from a cigarette or from a joint has like particulates of like plant matter in it and shit like that. So it's like kind of coating your lungs, but I don't know how true it is. Yeah,
that they don't like. I think it's worse than Time Magazine lets on. I think it's way, way worse. And I think most of us know it's that
anything
bad.
in
and I
nature
don't
that
know where this
secretes an
goes, but
anti-pesticide.
I'll leave it there.
Does smoking cigarettes have anything to do with that, Alan? Like, does tobacco secrete a pesticide?
The next segment will be tonight
says
at
90%
8
of
p.m.
COVID-19
over at
counted deaths
youtube.com/TimCastIRL.
had three pre-existing conditions under the
We'll
new
be
CDC
live
March
discussing
rules.
much of this. Thanks for hanging.
See, and then that's the other thing. The numbers just keep changing depending on what rules you use. I heard if you masturbate every day, you won't get it. Hey, well, that might be why I haven't gotten it yet. If you can't make natural mosquito spray out of it. Oh, if you can make
how
natural.
to deal
okay.
with SJW weirdos. He just Mike Lindell shows how to deal with SJW weirdos. He just folds his arms and says he welcomes the competition.
I came to party, drinking with my girls.
Famous gun grabber David Hogg decides to create a pillow out of spite against Mike Lindell for making a brilliant documentary. It's called Spite Pillow. No, it is
Spite
called
Pillow?
Good Pillow. This pillow fight just got very real, Hogg tweeted
Wow.
Thursday, calling it progressive competition. Now, progressive competition never means a better product. It's basically the diversity hire of the private market. It's not going to mean higher quality materials, lower price, better comfort. It will not function better as a pillow, but it'll make you feel better for buying it. It could be filled with broken glass and progressives would buy it. Legate and I can and will run a better business and make a better product, all with more happy staff than Mike, the pillow guy, while creating U.S.
Oh man, he should have gone with
jobs and
Spite
helping
Pillow. I
people.
know,
He
dude. I think I would have bought a pillow just to have a Spite Pillow. Not sure on the smoking, as a lot of viruses and parasites attract to mass CO2 in the breath of smoke.
We
Oh,
also
really?
hope to hire
Wow.
formerly incarcerated people.
See, Ellen, man, you know
vets,
shit
and
I never would've
workers
known.
From MyPillow, in case we put them out of business. Mike Lindell's response says,
Oh,
"Good for
okay,
them.
Bullwinkle.
Nothing wrong with competition that does not fringe on someone's patent." Like many 20-year-olds, Hogg thinks that you can create a better pillow just by rolling out of bed and tweeting a business plan. That's about all there is to it. He doesn't understand the amount of work that goes into a great company like MyPillow, or a knowledge base, or high quality, or things besides just trying to look
Or
good.
high quality.
I've seen this exact same kind of virtue signaling in my business, comics, which I've been doing for 30 years. I know how to write a story. I know how to print good quality. And there's always some blue-haired woke kid who says, I have the
ACQ
right diversity play
declassifies the
inside
pineal
the
gland.
story.
They have
I believe
fluoride
the
in
right
the water,
things,
which
and
blocks
Doug
it.
believes the wrong things. Therefore, my drawing is better. It doesn't work that way. And I've
You know what's really nice is I don't drink fucking water out of the tap. Everything that I do, even the food I make, is used with water from like a water place. You know, who's the guy speaking? His name is Doug Tina Powell. I think I got that right.
also seen
He's a guy I just found on YouTube, and I really enjoy it.
spite campaigns raised within comics against my books, which is also another classic, typical, pure 100% SJW move.
Yeah,
Now,
tap
look,
water is
Forbes, and
fucking
all the links to
disgusting.
these articles will be down in the description as
Study
usual.
also said
Here's
if you have
gun
asthma,
control
inhaler with
advocate
steroids.
Cameron
It
Kasky
also helps
slammed
against COVID.
fellow
Not
Parkland
really.
shooting survivor David Hogg on Wednesday over his plans to start a company to compete with MyPillow, whose CEO is a staunch supporter of
really?
former President
Wow.
Donald Trump. Kasky is taking
Guess
the
we need to
higher
move to
ground here
Portland.
because it's Hogg who's trying to build this pillow.
5 glasses of water a year. Yeah, I supplement with single barrel and and beer. Oh man.
Pillow company based on anything but the quality of the pillow And he's milking the credibility, and it's really ghoulish to try to make money off of the tragedy of others. He always drummed up the drama to go straight into politics. Here's Hogg again. This seemingly straightforward idea stems from the mindset that everyone deserves a good night's sleep, coupled with the belief that we deserve to feel good. That's capital G good about the brands we choose to support. One thing the woke always hate is a meritocracy.
Bourbon.
They don't want you to make a judgment.
I like bourbon, whiskey, and scotch. I do not like gin. Don't like dry gin. I don't like anything with the word gin in it. I do not like any types of wine at all. Don't like vodka, oddly enough. Not a big fan.
Based on how good the actual pillow does its job. It's about anything.
The only state I will drink the tap water from is Maine. Maine has the best drinking water in the country. Berkeley filter for all of my drinking water. Yum, there you go.
Merit. So suddenly it's how many intersectional workers
I get my shit from Water to Go.
Or how well you psychologically feel about the people that made it. And not the object itself. I sleep on a MyPillow. It's a great
I had
product.
a bad experience with gin.
And I would buy something like a MyPillow even if someone like Hogg made it. In fact, I'm positive I've bought all kinds of products.
It's only 4 days old, bro. That's got to be fucking sharp.
But Hogg's greatest fame is being
Walker.
a gun grabber. And he'll never be a great businessman like Mike Lindell if he doesn't listen to the customer and give them a product that they want. Not out of guilt.
See, Maine actually has really good tap water.
Not out of believing the right or wrong thing. It doesn't matter if you agree with them. You can still sleep on that pillow and get a great night's sleep. That's what American business used to be about. Now it's about all of these politics are getting involved.
See, I'm a Crown Royal guy.
And now I'll only drink milk if it's from a Christian cow, and you will only drink milk if it's from an atheist cow. I don't know if I've ever met a Christian cow. I only know that like the particles in the.
That's pretty funny.
I'd say mainstream media.
Sick as hell with Beam and Coke, and don't give me so-called it is bad.
Media wants Americans to be divided over the fact that Mark Cuban doesn't want to play the national anthem at his home games. All right, it is getting cold this winter. Of turning it on this.
You know what's really sad about high impact flicks nowadays? Is his commercials for the stuff he sells you is a higher quality than the actual video you're gonna watch.
With the Cold Killer. I've been using this thing every
like he
single
does
day,
really good with
1,
this.
2, or...
And then you jump into the video and I'm gonna guess it's probably crap quality. Let me see.
Description.
Dallas Mavericks.
See, like you can totally hear the difference in his voice quality.
Mark Cuban is getting a lot of hate on
Is the description.
Dallas Mavericks owner.
It just
Mark
sounds like
Cuban
shit. I don't know why he started doing it this way.
And a lot of support on the other for his recent public stance against playing the national anthem at his team's games. Everybody and their brother is reporting
top bottle
on
I can
this.
reuse.
Fox says Mavericks owner Mark Cuban confirmed to The Athletic that it was his decision to no longer play the national anthem prior to home games at American Airlines Center. The Mavericks haven't played the national anthem prior to home games this season, and the team doesn't plan on playing it for the foreseeable future. Cuban and the Mavericks didn't publicize the removal of the national anthem prior to games, but The Athletic reached out to the team after realizing that...
Look at that shit, you guys. That's that new Manamar, or whatever the hell ever you pronounce that shit. If you like Fireball, Jim Beam Fire, way better and smoother. I'll have to try that because I do like Fireball. So yeah, this is what's going on right now on the other side of the planet.
It wasn't played before Monday's matchup. A number of team employees only noticed the removal of the anthem on their own. They also said it was not announced or explained internally. The Athletic reported that Cuban declined a request for further comment or explanation on Monday evening. The Mavericks organization declined comment Tuesday per the website. But other people aren't declining to comment. When it was made public on Twitter last night, opinions flew. That's the end of supporting him or his team for me. Bye. I find it so amusing how pissy people get about this. It's so weird that we do this in the first place.
Myanmar. I have no Myanmar. I have no idea. It's friggin'
not like it's
on it,
law.
bro.
This is another reason I stopped watching.
I have no
NBA
clue how to
a
say
while
it.
Back. This dude wanted to run for president? Must want to get those losses over.
See if I can find another Myanmar
it's not
fucking
that he
stream.
put a stop to playing the national anthem. It's why he stopped. A lot of people are saying that he and others have stopped in order to pander to BLMers. The New York Post reported Cuban has been vocal about his support for those who kneel during the playing of the national
I don't know where
anthem.
it says. This is in
The
Japan,
Mavericks
but
owner
I
told
don't know.
ESPN
So
last
but I'll just
July
put
of
Japan.
the potential for his team's players to kneel during the anthem. Quote, if they were taking a knee and they were being respectful, I'd be proud of them. And that he hoped that he would join them.
Myanmar.
He later tweeted in response to what
Fuck,
he
it's gonna
called
take me
the
some
National
time.
Anthem Police that if critics of the nonviolent protest of systemic racism in the United States took issue,
Says this is
then they
Japan,
could,
but I don't
quote,
know.
complain to your boss and
Burma.
ask why
Yeah, I
they
could say
don't play the
Burma all
national
day.
anthem every day before you start work. End quote.
Myanmar.
This guy says these pandering stunts are
Yep,
easy
40
to pull
ring.
off
Maybe you
when
should
there are no fans
ask them
in the
if they
seats.
are strong enough
We'll
to
see
see
how
the video.
that goes when things
It's not
get
even.
back to normal.
It's not even about them, Alan. It's YouTube might fucking shut me down on that one.
And there are still
That is
no
a pretty
fans
brutal
in the
fucking
seats.
video.
This guy says, wouldn't it be something if fans just started singing and the crowd sang the anthem at every game? Good luck censoring that. This one says, the Mavericks will be playing in China in 5 years. The CCP will have them play a different anthem and not give them the option of not playing it. This guy says they're not fighting for equality.
Yeah.
That won't work for them.
Yeah, YouTube might fuck with me on that one. That's a pretty brutal video.
Equality, I'm happy to give. Acceptance, I will
It
not.
almost
I will not
looks.
accept a
It's almost
lifestyle
so
where
brutal. It
children are
doesn't. It
abandoned
looks
by their
fake.
fathers.
Like I'm
I
not
will
saying
not
it's fake.
accept
I
a
know it's
culture of
real.
violence and
But I can't
crime.
believe that
I will
there's.
not accept a separate but equal culture for blacks. America already has a culture. I will not accept lowering our standards.
Essentially, you guys, the video that Alan sent me is a video of coming out of Italy where there's a medical technician or somebody within the medical field walking through a hospital, and there are COVID bodies, I'll just say, absolutely everywhere. Blood everywhere. Body parts missing from a good chunk of these bodies. They're essentially harvesting organs from COVID patients in Italy is what the video kind of shows. It's fucking insane.
So they can feel accepted. I will also not accept anything being awarded or given based simply on the color of one's skin, including a national
pretty rough, you
anthem
guys.
or a history month. There's an interesting history about the national anthem, and a lot of people
I
already
will
know that the
here, you guys. I will make a file mail for it. I'll make a file mail if you guys want to check it out. I will file mail it. Caution.
Here's the definition of caution.
Oh,
Care taken to
you can
avoid
post
danger or
it. You can post it, Alan, wherever you would like. I just don't feel comfortable showing it. But if people wanna see it, I'm gonna make the link active for a fucking week. Yeah, you guys, once you see this, you can't unsee it. So everybody just... Here's the file mail link if you guys want to check it out. That's viewer discretion advised. Big time on that one.
Anthem's history began the morning of September 14th, 1814, when an attorney and amateur poet named Francis Scott Key watched U.S. soldiers who were under bombardment from British naval
pretty rough.
forces during the War of 1812, raised a large American flag.
The one
over
thing I will say is the video isn't like super high quality, so you're not going to see a whole lot of detail.
Fort McHenry
There you
in
go,
Baltimore,
Puffin.
Maryland. The Star-Spangled Banner was made a national anthem by a congressional resolution on March 3rd, 1931. The first time it's recorded that the song was played at a baseball game was on May 15th, 1862 at the Union Grounds in Brooklyn, New York.
The video is
The
from
tradition
Italy.
of playing the Star-Spangled Banner at
Thank God
sporting
for
events
pixels, right?
dates back to 1918 when a live band played the song during the 7th inning of the first game of the World Series between the Chicago Cubs and the Boston Red Sox. What a lot of people don't know is that since 1998, there's been this federal law, 36 USC 301. And it states that, quote, during a
fair warning
rendition
to
of the
everybody that's going to
national
watch
anthem, when the flag is displayed, individuals in uniform should give the military salute at the first note of the anthem and maintain that position until the last note. The next section says members of the armed forces and veterans who are present but not in uniform may render the military salute in the manner provided for individuals in uniform. And all other persons present should face the flag
Tony
and
Milonovich
stand at
here.
attention with
People
their
call
right
me the
hand
king.
over their heart. And men not in uniform, if applicable, should remove their headdress with their right hand and hold it at the left shoulder, the hand being over the heart. It ends by saying when the flag is not
I wish I knew what the guy in the video
all
was
present
saying, though.
should face toward the music and act in the same manner they would if the flag were displayed. Now,
Yeah, it's
there
pretty
are
fucked,
people who
ain't it,
believe
John?
that it's disrespectful to those who have died or been wounded in service to do anything other than stand for the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance. The Supreme Court held that
I don't
forcing
know.
students, for example,
I
to
got it
stand
from
for
the real
pledge
postmaster of the original United
constituted
States.
compelled speech and violated the First Amendment. So, according to the court's
So basically, I guess what I'm gathering is they are harvesting organs to sell on the black market or something like that. Didn't look like Italy, bodies so thin and underweight like third world country. Yeah, it could. I mean, it could be. I don't know. Nobody knows exactly where this is coming from. But yeah, it's bizarre, man.
Schools cannot require students to recite the pledge or stand for the pledge, and that includes standing silently while other students recite the pledge. While mainstream media wants everybody to
Fucking
believe
crazy.
that Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed kneeling during the anthem is merely calling attention to issues of racial inequality and police brutality, which most people are against anyway.
Yeah, it's
if you take
crazy.
a look at the BLM movement and the Marxist ideologies held by BLM's leaders,
Yeah,
you
Poopsicle,
realize
it's-
that there's
I don't know.
something
Sometimes it
way
doesn't
deeper
work on
than
certain
mainstream
phones, the
media
download
wants
links.
people to realize. So what do you guys think? Do you care if the national anthem
I
is
mean, that is
played?
fucking crazy,
Do you
though, to
think
see
if
that.
it is played, that people should...
That is fucking weird for me
finished
to
a
see.
Super Bowl here in this country. The biggest sporting event, bar none, right here in the United States of America. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were successful over the Kansas City
There's something
Chiefs.
off
Tom
about the
Brady
video?
won his 7th Super Bowl ring, even though it was already established. He was the greatest of all time.
Honestly, I'm praying to God the video is doctored or fake or you know, the context is missing. That's why I'm saying I wish I could like understand what the guy in the video is actually saying. You can harvest all kinds of shit from a dead body. Blood, fucking... Obviously, the bodies that you see aren't... They've already been harvested. They usually do it right after you die. They will harvest organs and such.
This just cements it even further, winning his 7th. And on top of that, being the first quarterback ever to win in both conferences. And on top of that, he won on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which are historically not a very impressive organization at all. So congratulations to Brady. And
Thanks for sharing that, as people really need to find out what is going on.
Hey, Alan, and thank you for that $5 donation. It's not doctored video, came from a reliable source. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm just saying I'm praying it's doctored because it's like that is a lot to process in that video. But thank you for that $5 donation. Isn't there a translate we can use to find out what he said? We probably could, but the video quality and audio quality is so poor that maybe translate wouldn't actually pull it up. What would be the best is to have somebody that speaks the language to be able to translate, but yeah.
to the players on the Bucs, special shout out to Jason Pierre.
But thank you so much again, Alan, for that $5 donation. Let's get some fire in the chat for Alan, man.
When he was a Giant and now has
We
done
are
it
the
with
news
Buccaneers.
now, Alan.
8-0 in the postseason. A lot of New York sports headlines are talking that up as if that means a lot, but still, for him, it's his second ring, so it definitely means a lot. Now, a lot of YouTube creators were definitely waiting for the woke advertising
Can't
to
show
be
me
the
a
story
beer.
of this week. I can't lie, I was
There you go,
expecting some
buddy.
pretty cringy and pretty awful commercials. And to be perfectly honest, the commercials did not deliver in that regard, and I think that's a good thing.
It actually sounds
now,
like
I
Spanish
think the
versus
reason
Italian.
why the commercials
See, like, I
weren't
don't know
so
what it sounds like because I'm not really fluent in either one of those languages. My nephew was an organ donor after a car accident. They kept him on life support to take donations. Bullwinkles, I actually have a story about that. I won't bring names into it, but it'd be really weird if me and you connected on this. But anyway, I had a young cousin of mine who died in an ATV accident. They were just out cruising, and he crashed into a tree and hit his head. He hit part of his head. Like, he could have hit anywhere else on his head, and he'd probably been fine, but he hit a certain part of his head. And essentially went into a coma. He was 17. I didn't know him that well, but they donated his liver, his kidneys, his heart, his eyes, his skin. And I can't even believe what my other cousins, the wife and father of the kid, had to go through. But it is nice to think that my cousin is out living vicariously through other people, to a sense. But yeah, he donated his eyes, his heart, his skin, his kidneys, his liver, all that shit. But that was at the request of the family.
Woke is because Joe Biden is the president of the United States, so there's no need to virtue signal against President Trump now that it appears that his era is completely over. However, while the politics of the woke weren't really that present in all of the advertisement as it's been in the past couple of years, that doesn't mean there wasn't some woke nonsense we had to deal with leading up to the Super Bowl. And I'm specifically talking about how the entire marketing campaign for the 2 weeks between the championship game and the Super Bowl were all about how Tom Brady...
I don't know, Poopsicle. The sources on inciting a riot were like CNN and MSNBC and shit like that. The source that I got this from is working on removing the Pope.
Once had a
I
MAGA
don't know. I know
hat
the
in his
benefits from
locker
organ donors, but it's freaking me out.
in
I
the
feel
year
you.
2015, and how people are so nice to Tom Brady because he's white. This is heavily implied, if not outright stated, but they were so mean to Colin Kaepernick.
See, fair enough, fair enough, Poopsicle. That is why we're all here, you guys, is to determine what is real and what isn't. Calling bullshit is great. And that is the best part. John D says, this is why I'm not an organ donor and why I will be in a tiny pieces long before anyone gets to me, as I plan to become literal bear shit. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna go out? You're gonna have your family drag you out in the middle of the fucking forest and so you get mauled by a bear?
Kneeling on the field.
I
Tom
feel
Brady
you
is
on
this
that.
terrible.
There's actually a type of burial that I always wanted. It's called a sky burial. And basically what happens is when you're gonna fight a bear. But what I always thought would be cool anyway would be when I die, my family packs me into a bag and carries me to the top of a very sacred mountain and then lays my body down on the ground and lets the hawks and whatever else might do that, but mainly the hawks eat your body at such an altitude, because then you get spread all over the world, and you give back in a way. But I'm that's how I'm down. My living will is to die in the wilderness, but my luck Kaido will piss on me and nothing else will eat me.
Guy who once got a hat from somebody that he considered a friend
sky burial.
who was running for president, and that hat was seen in his locker room. But Colin
head-on with a police officer, his fault, passing on Mountain Road in Colorado, both died. He had brain injury too. Damn. I'm so sorry, Bullwinkle.
Citizen
My
all the
condolences,
way.
buddy.
No way we should be treating Colin Kaepernick like this terrible human being when we're just glorifying Tom Brady. Tom Brady, the amount of headlines that had his name and white supremacy.
The only reason I'm an organ donor is because if I ever die at a young age, I want somebody else to just take what I got, you know?
Them
Don't
really
matter
go
to
to
me.
show you that he's possibly
Can't
not
take it with
really
you.
at all a white supremacist because he once had a MAGA hat. But Colin Kaepernick didn't do nothing. Colin Kaepernick, great guy, first class all the way. This was the story, or the number of
Bubba, that's a
stories
good
leading
one.
up to this Super Bowl, and it was absolutely ridiculous. First and foremost, it takes away from Patrick Mahomes, the young up-and-coming quarterback who just won a Super Bowl last year, who was going for a 2-for-2. Andy Reid, a storied coach in the NFL, one of my favorite people in the NFL, going for his second back-to-back Super Bowl after finally breaking through last year. Andy Reid, if you haven't seen some of the losses that he has had as a coach in the playoffs, some of the most tragic stuff has happened to him on the field, and that's not even to mention all of the tragedies that have happened to Andy Reid off the field. However, the Chiefs were basically a non-factor in a lot of the media coverage leading up to this game because, again, we had to retread the Colin Kaepernick nonsense. Now, I have been pretty straightforward, upfront, and honest about Colin Kaepernick in a way that a lot of people on the right weren't actually being, in my opinion. In that, while I do acknowledge that Colin Kaepernick was not a good quarterback at the time that he was exiled from the NFL, I have to also point out that he was definitely good enough to be a...
There you go, Alan.
This is a Tempur-Pedic mattress.
Yeah, I just don't have the heart to not be a donor. And you know what's really weird about being a donor is when I went to the DMV, or the Social Security office where I'm at, and I don't know what it was to this day that this lady laughed at, but she like looked at my application, and to me, I got the vibe she saw that I was an organ donor and then laughed. And then I don't know. I just started thinking, like, why would she have laughed at that?
Or third string quarterback on NFL teams, and if not for his politics creating a giant distraction and negative PR for the NFL, he likely would have had a job.
In order to get their
this
donations.
is all but acknowledged
dude, there's a movie very similar to that, John D, called Blood Work. It's with Clint Eastwood in it. And, yeah, blood work is literally that definition, John D.
The NFL when they gave him a settlement and they gave him a tryout. However, this does not make Colin Kaepernick a good guy, and it should not in any way, shape, or form make him viewed as a better figure than one Thomas Brady, because Tom Brady has not done nearly the awful things that Colin Kaepernick did. And I'm not talking about the kneeling. I always, from the beginning, never cared about Colin Kaepernick kneeling for the national anthem because it's very symbolic, and it doesn't really have a lot of impact on my life.
There's literally a movie about that.
If he's an anti-American progressive, that's on him. And talking about the way that he protests is a distraction from the fact that Colin Kaepernick believes, says, and does horrific things. Attack the person and what he's actually advocating for over the method was always my position on Colin Kaepernick. And that's what I'm going to go into today, because I'm tired of people trying to flex with Colin Kaepernick's morality when he has no...
Feeling better about my decision. CM coming in.
Get some beer on me. Enjoy, we're going to need it. Winking face, winking face, winking face.
CM says, get some beer on me. Enjoy, we're going to need it. I feel you, CM. And yeah, we're getting going, man. Hey, DK, that website added subtitles to the video. Can I post a link here? You have to post it in stream links because on Discord, because YouTube does not even allow me to allow you guys to post links here. But let's get some fire in the chat for CM for that $14.99, aka $15 donation. Thank you so much, CM, for that support. And as always, everybody, Everett Sant goes straight to keeping the stream running. I don't know why I just went southern there. But thank you so much, CM, for that support. It really does mean a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Moral leg to stand on whatsoever. But first, let's get into Tom Brady. Now, I am a New Yorker. I'm a New York
I know, right,
sports
John
fan.
D?
If
Yeah, thank
anybody
God, right?
has a right to hate Tom
Cheers
Brady
to you,
for
CM.
football reasons, it is me. So I totally understand people hating Tom Brady for on-the-field football reasons. In fact, one of my favorite segments...
I still always thought Tom Brady, there's something weird about it going on. Like, he's a cheater. He cheats. I find it so, like... If Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl, you might as well just bet on his team winning, because I don't think he's lost.
Leading up to this Super Bowl was Tom Brady reacting to mean tweets, because all of the mean tweets, even though they were nasty, towards Tom Brady acknowledge that he's probably a good guy and they actually wouldn't hate him if he was the quarterback of their team or if they met him in person. But they hate him because if you are an NFL fan and you're not a Patriots fan, at some point in your life as a fan, you have been hurt by this man because that's how good he is. That's how dominant he's been over the last 20 years. Unless you're a Giant, then you have no real reason to hate Tom Brady because you beat him twice in the Super Bowl.
Thank you so much,
but almost
Buffin.
every other team in the NFL has a reason to be against this person. But that's all on the field stuff. That's like hating Michael Jordan if you're a New York Knicks fan or an Indiana Pacers fan. You just don't like this guy because he's beating you time after time. That 100% makes sense. But this weird extra hatred towards Tom Brady because he's a successful white quarterback, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because it's brought up in every hit piece against him, who may or may not support President Trump, even though he was just having a MAGA hat in his locker because he was friends with the guy when he decided he was running for president. This is where things get absolutely ridiculous, because you should be able to support the major political candidate for one of the major political parties. You should be able to support somebody who became president of the United States. You should not be shunned from society and called a racist because you might support a guy that 75 million Americans voted for. I mean, honestly, the fact that the media had to project their hatred for President Trump onto their Super Bowl coverage was absolutely terrible. The fact that they had to inject every single bit of it with their politics really ruined the build-up to this big game, which again should have been all about Tom Brady going for number 7.
So yeah, these guys are definitely
the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. And then on the other side of
the guys in that video, guys, are definitely people organ harvesting, based off of the translate. It's kind of vague, but they're essentially talking about things going over to Moscow, I think. Let me see. Let me watch it again. Every organ on this has totally corrupt contact. So that you know that Moscow, something about Moscow in there. Wow. That's creepy, man. It creeps me out.
This young up-and-comer Patrick Mahomes, who already did it last year, and Andy Reid, who just broke through last year.
If you guys want to check out the translate to that video that we were watching earlier, somebody ran it through this fucking website. Puffin ran it through the website. And it does give some vague fucking captions.
Again, this is what should have been the storyline of this Super Bowl. One of the best teams all season
absolutely, River.
Versus one of the hottest teams, but it wasn't. It was all about how Tom Brady, even not wanting to talk about politics, was indicative of white supremacy. Even though the most famous person for not talking about politics and being a great player was Michael Jordan, who Tom Brady just passed in a number of championships, by the way. And nobody labeled Michael Jordan a white supremacist for not getting involved in the day-to-day minutia of politics. But where things got ridiculous was when they decided to go full-blown character assassination.
10 years ago, we found a loan depot because we were confident we could deliver the American dream of home ownership
nation while propping up Colin Kaepernick. Because, again, while you can criticize Tom Brady for on-the-field stuff and even cheating scandals in the NFL, like Spygate,
yeah, you really can actually,
which ultimately are not the reasons
to me
why
was
Tom
definitive,
Brady is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But that's all fun and fair game among fans, just like talking up the Houston Astros pitch stealing scandal would work for baseball. You can't really get him on off-the-field stuff. The idea that he had a MAGA hat, again, as I've referred to a bunch of times in this video already, is just not going to cut it. But to compare him to Colin Kaepernick,
I gotta go check my mining rig. Be right back.
On the field, which made some people angry, but actually is actively promoting bad causes and horrific people with his activism, is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm going to give you some examples of things Colin Kaepernick actually did. Now, we all know that Colin Kaepernick is an anti-American regressive who has become a symbol of Black Lives Matter, an organization responsible for, or an ideology responsible for, the unparalleled acts of violence, looting, and destruction in all of our major cities over the course of the year 2020.
Brady's the GOAT, yeah. I gotta give it to him.
Colin Kaepernick, when he was a player, actually went down to Miami with a pro Fidel Castro shirt. So Miami, which is a place where a
Colin
lot of
Kaepernick's a
refugees
scumbag.
are, refugees of Fidel Castro, was an appropriate venue for Colin Kaepernick to wear a shirt praising the authoritarian dictator responsible for forcing them out of the nation or for them fleeing through shark-infested waters in order to get out of that nation. But it actually gets much worse than that. Because while we have a bunch of commies and tankies all over the place, and you might say even though they support one of the most authoritarian ideologies humanly possible, they might not be bad people, they might just be incredibly dumb. Colin Kaepernick
he kind of
actually
just
took
walked
it a
up and
step
said, "This is
further
mine,
when he
thanks."
tried
Yeah,
to
basically.
free a convicted cop killer who is 100%
Basically.
guilty named Mumia.
When I was invited to speak on behalf of Mumia,
I heard all QBs
one of
did
the
deflate
first
the
things that
balls
came
in
to
the
mind
wet.
was how
They
long
used
he's
that
been in
as an
prison.
excuse to get the Patriots.
how many years of
And the
his life
70s
have been
Raiders
stolen away from
DB,
him,
DBs
his
put
community, and his
stick
loved
them
ones.
on themselves.
He's been incarcerated for 38 years.
So the whole
Mumia
damn
has
thing
been
is
in
just
prison
corrupt.
longer than I've been alive. When I first spoke
I honestly think sports are just designed nowadays to get the most money possible.
with Mumia on the phone, I did very little talking. I just listened. Hearing him speak was a reminder of why we must continue to fight.
Now, for some reason, whenever we discuss Colin Kaepernick, this story does not get enough attention. But this guy actually...
What was going on back in the day in like the 80s or some shit with like they were rigging basketball games? You guys, anybody around for that?
cut a video in favor of this cop killer who, as I pointed out to you, is 100% guilty of killing a cop.
No, I
and
did
the
not,
reason that
Poopsicle.
Kaepernick did so is because this cop killer is a black person who killed a white police officer.
Even while living in the hells of the prison system, Mumia still fights
He's
for our
literally
human
reading
rights.
a teleprompter.
We must continue to fight for him and his human rights. Mumia is 66.
Yo, Kaepernick, what we need you to do, bro, is we need you to come in, sit on this really, really awesome background, and I just need you to read what we have written down on the teleprompter for you. Don't worry, because you're getting $24 million deposited right now.
Years old. He is a grandfather.
This guy is a fucking grifter. He's a grifter.
He is an elder with ailments.
He's only going to play for
He is a
$1 million.
human
Oh,
being
only
that
$1 million?
deserves to be free.
Now, just imagine any
Everything is
circumstance
covered now. It all
whatsoever
comes-
where Tom Brady
when it all
could
comes
get
crashing
away with
down
being
and
an
we wall,
advocate for
and we
a
check,
convicted
and we
murderer
read, and it-
based on
and
the
so
fact
it was,
that that
and so it
murderer
is,
was
and
white and
so
the victim
shall
of that
be.
murderer
I love
was
it, dude.
black. Also based on the fact that that murderer himself
And you're
was
right.
a racist. You think Tom Brady could get away with that? Well, Colin Kaepernick just did so, and he was even called out by CNN in regards to his thoughts on the case because
Really,
it's
River?
so open and shut. It's
Zach
incredibly
Hubbard.
stupid that this guy got on board with it, but then again, when you view the world through
See
the
what we got
racist
here.
lens that Kaepernick views it through, you can understand why he decided to get on board with this convicted cop killer.
I see that you've just called for the immediate
Oh, his
release
account has been
of this
terminated off of
convicted cop
YouTube.
killer, claiming that he was framed by a racist police department for the 1981 murder of Officer.
Wow.
Why pay more than you need for everyday little messes? It's kind of
God
like
has
paying
given
more
his
for
people a
gourmet
tremendous
chicken
task in
nuggets.
this world, and all need wisdom carefully to search out the
Officer
mystery
Danny
of
Faulkner.
iniquity.
He had no record before he was arrested and framed for the death of a Philadelphia police officer.
This is a subject I know a little something about. You could say that I literally wrote the book. This book.
Oh, yeah.
2000.
Buy my book, please.
I co-authored Murdered by Mumia with Danny Faulkner's widow, Maureen. It was briefly a New York...
That's what I hate, too, is it seems like everybody has an underlying reason for advocating for anything. Here's my book. Here's my website. Here's my Instagram. Here's my Facebook. Here's my butthole. If you would like to enter it, it costs $25 for admission.
Times bestseller. By
What
the
up,
way,
Chris?
neither
How you
of us
doing?
accepted any proceeds from the sale of the book.
So credit where credit is due to Michael Smirkanish
Beyond the mat,
of
so
CNN.
good.
And again, I am praising somebody on CNN for being so on point on this because he calls Colin Kaepernick out straight up on his network unapologetically because he actually knows what's going on with this case because he literally, with the wife of the slain officer, wrote a book on this case.
On December 9, 1981, at about 4 a.m., 25-year-old Daniel Faulkner was executed while making what seemed like a routine traffic stop. Faulkner pulled over the brother of Abu Jamal, a.k.a. Wesley Cook, who was driving his car the wrong way on a one-way street. Abu Jamal was then working as a taxi driver. He saw the police stop from across the street. And 4 eyewitnesses testified at trial as to what
Amen
happened
to
next.
that, man.
Their testimony portrayed a horrific sequence. Abu Jamal ran across the street.
Take it easy,
shot
Poops,
Officer
to go.
Faulkner in
I'm
the
going to be
back,
going to
and then
bed here
finally
soon
between the
myself.
eyes.
So as Michael over at CNN points out, there were 4 witnesses that testified to seeing Mumia approach this officer, shoot him in the back like the coward that he is, before he turned around and shot Mumia, and then Mumia put the final shot into his head. But not only is Colin Kaepernick
God.
backing the killer of Faulkner against 4 witnesses
Wow.
because the killer of Faulkner is black, and the victim in this case was a white police officer, but he's also backing him over the mountains of forensic evidence that prove his guilt.
Before that final fatal shot, Officer Faulkner had himself discharged his gun, hitting Abu Jamal in the stomach. With that bullet, you could say that he confirmed the identity of his executioner.
Hey, there you go, Alan.
When
I
police
love it.
arrived, Abu Jamal was still
Look
wearing his
forward to
shoulder
it.
holster. The murder weapon registered to him was next to him on the ground at the murder scene. He'd purchased it at a local sporting goods store. Ballistics tests verified that the bullets found in Abu Jamal's gun were the same caliber, brand, and type as the fatal bullet removed from Officer Faulkner's brain. Both men were taken to a local ER. Faulkner was pronounced dead. Abu Jamal was heard by witnesses, including a security guard, to say, "I shot the MFer, and I hope the MFer dies."
Wow.
So the case had eyewitnesses, a ballistics match, and a confession.
So after being shot in the back by the coward that Colin Kaepernick is supporting because Colin Kaepernick is a racist, the officer turned around and fired into the stomach of his murderer. Then Mumia shot him in the head. All of the bullets in this exchange match each other's guns. So basically, both players in this shooting helped identify and solve this case via ballistic evidence.
Whenever I'm educating someone about the case, in addition to what I've just told you, I always like to underscore one fact. Abu Jamal's brother, William Cook, he saw it all. His words to police upon their arrival were, "I ain't got nothing to do with it." And he has never testified on his brother's behalf. Let me say that again. The brother of the man convicted of killing the cop has himself never taken the stand to tell a different story, and he was there.
And finally, as if the testimony of 4 witnesses and the undeniable forensic evidence proving Mumia's
Sorry about
guilt
that random
wasn't
audio
good
there.
enough, you also have Mumia's brother, the 5th witness, who refused to testify in favor of his brother. He knows that his brother is guilty. He doesn't want to testify for him because he knows he will go down for perjury if he lies for his cowardly brother that ambushed this police officer before murdering him.
And yet a political prisoner who has since the age of 14
Yeah, sorry, Wills. I was checking a
dedicated his
stream
life
and
to
it just
fighting
sort of
against
happened.
racism, continues to be caged and lives his life on a slow death row. We're in the midst of a movement that says Black Lives Matter. And if that's truly the case, then it means that Mumia's life and legacy must matter.
That's who Colin Kaepernick is. That's the caliber of person we are discussing when we're comparing Colin Kaepernick to anybody. He's the kind of guy that will support a cop killer who is convicted with overwhelming eyewitness testimony and forensic evidence because the cop killer is black and he talked a little bit about social justice and he only killed a white police officer. Colin Kaepernick, also the same coward, who refused to go on the show with the guy who actually knows anything about the case or meet with the wife of the person who was slain, because why would that matter to Colin Kaepernick? He's all about pushing a narrative. Mumia has an NPR show, and Colin Kaepernick listened to like 2 episodes, and he really is on board with that.
So thank you, Mr. Kaepernick, for listening. I should note, you were invited to be on this program. I was told that you aren't doing any interviews on the subject. You should know that Maureen Faulkner, police officer Danny Faulkner's widow, would love to talk to you about the case.
Now stack up everything that you have on Tom Brady that makes you hate him. Deflategate, Spygate, the fact that he wins a lot. Stack up the things off the field. He took a loan from the government program that everybody took loans from, but since it's Tom Brady, you want to hate him extra for that. And compare that to Colin Kaepernick advocating for a convicted murderer who is 100% guilty based solely on the fact that that convicted murderer is a black activist and he killed a white police officer. And tell me who's the better person. Tell me who's stronger in terms of character. Tell me who we should be looking up to and who we should be looking down on. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Have you even ever heard of this story related to Colin Kaepernick?
All right, you guys, I'm going to end the stream for tonight. It is now 3:30 in the morning. I'll be back as soon as I possibly can. Be on the lookout. I'm usually on around 10 p.m. Eastern, but I'm trying to make that earlier. It's just been difficult with everything going on. But I will leave you guys with one documentary from my man Jay Myers. And we will see you guys tomorrow. On the flip side, everybody have a good night. I love you guys. Thank you guys for all the donations and support tonight. It really means a lot. It really fucking does. I love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
What really happened at Epstein's Island? What went on inside the creepy temple? And who all was involved? There's one person who knows all those answers. Her name is Ghislaine Maxwell. Since the suspicious death of Jeffrey Epstein, she's become the most sought-after woman in the world. The Oxford-educated heiress, known for her role as Epstein's sidekick and procurer for his underage sex trafficking and blackmail operation. She was once referred to as the Madam of Epstein's mansion, and you better believe she knows where the skeletons are buried. Photographed with everyone from Elon Musk to Martha Stewart, and yes, even Donald Trump, and licensed to pilot helicopters and submarines, it goes without saying she isn't your average socialite. So who is this mysterious woman, and what dark secrets is she keeping? Join me as we investigate the elusive Ghislaine Maxwell. By now, almost everyone knows about Jeffrey Epstein, the financier who ran an international sex slave and blackmail operation, providing underage girls to powerful and prominent elites. But he didn't run his empire alone. Like all villainous sociopaths, he too had an accomplice, a sidekick. Enter British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, who, according to court documents, would scout and recruit girls to be pimped out to Epstein's powerful pals. Victims were more comfortable being approached by a female, and because she was, after all, a glamorous sophisticate offering a world of princes and private jets, her allure proved highly effective. The two supposedly met in the early 90s. Ghislaine introduced the Brooklyn-raised Epstein to an upper-crust society he had never been able to enter. Epstein financed her lifestyle while she not only managed his household, but helped procure and arrange children for his empire. Nicknamed the Madam, she even taught these young girls how to please his wealthy clients. Ghislaine obtained her helicopter license, and Epstein bought her a $4 million luxury helicopter, which was used to ferry underage sex slaves and eager elites to Epstein's Island. Ghislaine actually said the reason why she has a helicopter is so she could fly whoever she wants to Epstein's Island without anyone knowing. They nicknamed the copter Air Ghislaine 1. Air Ghislaine 2 was another helicopter that was used at Epstein's mysterious New Mexico compound. No one really knows what this location was used for. She is shown on flight logs as having flown with Bill Clinton on the notorious Lolita Express. She is even close enough to the Clintons to have been invited to Chelsea's wedding. She's also been photographed numerous times with fashion model Naomi Campbell. At Campbell's birthday party in 2001, Ghislaine is pictured among the attendants, along with her young sex slave, Virginia Roberts. Campbell made a strange YouTube video to defend herself, claiming she had no idea about what Epstein and Ghislaine were up to. In the video, she wears a necklace with a blatant Illuminati triangle and eye. It would be difficult to imagine Campbell wasn't aware of what this young girl was doing at her party. Ghislaine's family background is interesting to say the least. Her father, Robert Maxwell, was a British media magnate with ties to intelligence agencies such as Mossad and MI6. His death is also mysterious. He supposedly died after accidentally falling from his luxury yacht, named the Lady Ghislaine after his daughter. However, many theorists speculate he was actually murdered, or even committed suicide. You see, shortly before Maxwell's death, it was revealed that he had been stealing money from his employees' pension fund and using it to finance his extravagant lifestyle. After his death, his family was left to clean up the mess. Whether or not her father committed suicide is still debated, but one thing is certain: Ghislaine did not think so. In fact, she is reported as having said he was murdered. Ghislaine moved to New York City and promptly became a fixture among Manhattan high society, where she was often photographed with powerful and influential people. One wonders how she became so connected so fast. She even attended parties with Donald Trump back in the day. The official story is that she dated Epstein briefly after they met, until presumably she realized he had much younger taste. Researchers have also discovered that in addition to being a helicopter pilot, Ghislaine is also licensed to pilot submarines. Why would a woman who's supposedly a socialite be licensed to pilot a submarine? Is it possible a submarine was used in Epstein's trafficking operations? Ghislaine claims to be passionate about the ocean and created a shadowy foundation called Terra Mar, which claimed to bring protection and awareness to the high seas. Just the kind of vague nonsense that these elite charitable foundations use to conceal their real activities. The very day after Epstein's recent arrest, the Terra Mar Foundation suddenly announced it was closing. So much for the ocean. But brace yourselves, because it's about to get a lot weirder. One of the more curious bits of information that has come to light recently is this strange piece of art hanging in Maxwell's home in New York City. This photo is from an event held by Maxwell in 2013 and can be found along with many others from the event on the photographer's website. The address listed as the event location is identified as belonging to Ghislaine Maxwell. The disturbing piece of art depicts a human head mounted to the wall, with an especially long, braided, Fu Manchu-style beard coming all the way down the wall, and disturbing black eyes. The placard behind him curls upward to create a pair of horns behind his head. Most chilling of all, however, is the symbolism imprinted all over the head and long piece of cloth that runs behind the beard. It is a triangle with the swirl in the middle. Both symbols have been identified by the FBI as pedophile code. The dark red walls make the piece all the more eerie. Overall, the piece is striking and disturbing and has a deeply satanic vibe. This, combined with the symbols imprinted on it, allude to a much darker connection that no one in the media is discussing. The fact that these elites who abuse children are typically also Satanists/Luciferians. Because what kind of person would want to have something like this in their house? The kind that traffics children, I suppose. Hi guys, before we continue, I need to talk to you about something important. Increasing reports of mob protest and domestic terrorism have led experts to believe America may soon be on the brink of widespread civil unrest. A chemical or biological terrorist attack / false flag would have devastating consequences. Don't be caught off guard. Prepare today by equipping yourself with a top-of-the-line gas mask, from Myra Safety, the brand trusted by military and law enforcement. Click the link in the description to get military-grade protection for a chemical or biological attack. And the best part is, each purchase you make helps support this channel. It's a win-win. And now, exclusively for our viewers, Myra has offered an additional 10% off all purchases through the code J10. That's right, an extra 10% off just for being a fan. No preparation effort is complete without protection against chemical or biological agents. So don't wait. Follow the link in the description and use the code J10 to get 10% off from Myra Safety now. Ghislaine has also been spotted numerous times with Prince Andrew, and no doubt procured girls for him as well. But this isn't the first time one of the Queen's sons has been caught with links to a child trafficker. Prince Charles was big buddies with serial child rapist and procurer Jimmy Savile. And guess what? He was a Satanist as well. It has been revealed that Ghislaine was a frequent visitor to Buckingham Palace. But of course, just like with Savile, Buckingham Palace denies all knowledge of her nefarious behavior. To the young girls, she appeared charming, friendly, and sophisticated, but in reality, she had nothing but disdain for them. A source told Vanity Fair magazine that when asked about the girls, Ghislaine replied, "Oh, they're nothing. These girls, they're trash." That quick reply epitomized how Epstein and his elite pals viewed these girls. Ghislaine would tell the girls she had a phone job for them, saying, "You'll make lots of money, meet everyone, and I'll change your life." In reality, she destroyed those lives. Behind her sophisticated friends and glamorous lifestyle hid a cunning and manipulative woman who controlled her victims with force and cruelty if necessary. Ghislaine was known for confiscating the foreign girls' passports so they couldn't leave the island. One young woman tried to make a daring escape by swimming off the island, but she was caught by a search party that included Ghislaine Maxwell. How many girls never made it off the island to tell their tales of abuse? We will never know. With all the information that is coming to light, the question on everybody's lips is, where is she now? Speculation ranged from her family's estate in England to outside Boston to the bottom of the sea. But then, as the world was searching for her, new photos appeared showing her at an In-N-Out Burger in Los Angeles. Online articles declared she had been found. Ghislaine sits at an outdoor bench surrounded by fellow diners. She stares coyly into the camera with a faint, impish smirk. There's a sly catch-me-if-you-can glint in her eye. But something was off. The photos appeared staged and artificial. The photo was a forgery. Daily Mail reporters did an investigation of their own and discovered the photo had been staged by Ghislaine's attorney. She even borrowed her lawyer's dog for the picture. But the bizarre photo shoot at a burger joint gets even weirder. The book she is reported to have been reading is called Book of Honor: The Secret Lives and Deaths of CIA Operatives. The book was a message, but what is it? Is it that Epstein was CIA, or perhaps they both were? It has been speculated that she may have actually been his handler. Considering her father, intelligence seems to be the family business. Were they both playing their sick part in an intelligence blackmail operation aimed at controlling the world's powerful figures? According to a Vanity Fair source, Ghislaine actually bragged about their blackmail scheme, saying that the entire island, which was known locally as Pedophile Island, was bugged with surveillance equipment, and that she and Epstein were videotaping everyone for blackmail. Currently, Ghislaine's attorneys have been fighting to block the release of documents that would reveal who all was involved in the underage trafficking operation. The lawyers insist the release of these documents would implicate literally hundreds of people, including celebrities and influential figures. They actually argue against the release on the basis that it would cause a public frenzy. The number of celebrities, business moguls, and world leaders this woman has been photographed with is troubling to say the least. Numerous times with Prince Andrew, Nathan Rothschild, hotel owner Andrei Balazas, who has been tied to Marina Abramovic, right-wing mega donors the Koch brothers, Donald Trump, Jimmy Choo founder Tamara Mellon, TV host Piers Morgan, actor Michael Caine, and numerous other stars. Given the number of photographs there are with her and various celebrities, it is surprising that she doesn't have more with the Clintons. It's almost as if they deliberately did not want to be photographed with her. We know she must have been close to the Clintons to be invited to Chelsea's wedding, and she flew with Bill on Lolita Express so many times. But today, even as her lawyers are arguing in court, she is hiding. Magazines and newspapers are yet to get an authentic sighting of her, and real photos of Ghislaine are more sought after than Bigfoot. Research into the dark madam of Epstein Island provides more questions than answers. Most importantly, where is Ghislaine Maxwell? And will she ever face justice? French authorities have now launched a new investigation into Epstein's activity in Paris. Only time will tell what happens next in this twisted saga. Let's hope all the documents are unsealed by the court and all of those involved are brought to justice regardless of their power or social standing. Ghislaine herself should be charged and extradited from wherever she is hiding. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and click the bell. Dear viewers, since I started this channel, it has become increasingly difficult to bring you the truth. Google is doing everything they can to silence alternative voices. I need your help now more than ever. If you enjoy the reports and documentaries I create, please consider supporting me through Patreon or directly through PayPal. Not only will you be helping this channel survive, you will get early access to the videos I upload. I want to give a special thank you to everyone who is already a supporter.